Afternoon for the second elimination final in the Ballarat Football Netball League this afternoon between Sebastopol and East-Point. Of course, third versus sixth this afternoon, a do-or-die clash between two sides that built up quite the rivalry in recent years inside the McDonald's Ballarat Football Netball League. In people wanting to know what's been happening across various grades this afternoon in the under-19, Sebastopol and Sunbury have been victorious in their respective finals, and in the reserves competition, Sunbury and East-Point have been victorious in the reserves thus far. But this afternoon, it's all about Sebastopol and East-Point, third versus sixth, and the team sheets have come across my desk. And, well, the news for Sebastopol is that Bailey Veal and Daniel Widgery replaced Luke Keel, who we knew about was going to miss with a broken leg. And Ben Hutt is the one that misses with an ankle injury, meaning brother Toby is being passed to fit to play, as well as James Keeble, who were both under an injury cloud from last week. Whilst for East-Point, well, the big news was coming out of their camp, Jordan Johnston. He will miss with a broken thumb this afternoon. A late withdrawal this afternoon means Tung comes back into the lineup. Matty Johnston, his brother, the captain, makes his way back in with Joe Fraser to bolster their side. Of course, East-Point were victorious last week in round 18 action McDonald's Ballarat Football Netball League when they defeated North Ballarat to book their ticket this afternoon here at the Eastern Oval for the second elimination final. And it's, of course, a good venue for the away side today. Very rare that the away side in a final gets a home final per se. This afternoon here at the Eastern Oval, finishing sixth on the ladder, the last place inside the competition's top six, but a home final, I guess, this afternoon, if you will, against Sebas. But talking to the Borough camp during the week, that won't faze them. They've, of course, been victorious on two occasions this season against East-Point. Back in round 8, they defeated them by 34 points at the Marty Bush Reserve, and most recently, in round 16, they defeated East-Point here in a high-scoring affair by 9 points. That afternoon, Luke Gill, arguably best on ground with 26 disposals. Well, of course, the co-coach on the sidelines for the rest of season 2023 after breaking his leg last week in the loss to Radan. And then you look at East-Point, well, on their side of things, you had the Johnston brothers last time these two sides met combined for 56. No JJ. That's going to be a massive out and a massive void for them to fill in the midfield and inside forward 50. Traditionally, we've had that great rivalry head-to-head between Jordy Johnston and Ben Hutt. We've seen that matchup numerous times since all the way back in mid-2019 to now, both players not playing this afternoon in this important final. So those questions that would have been posed pre-game don't have to be answered. Neither are playing this afternoon, which makes it very easy here in the commentary box to isolate. And if you're looking at some of the matchups across the grounds and ones for respective sides, Matt Johnson comes back into the midfield. He'll just go head-to-head with like a bull like Lachlan Cassidy. It'll be an interesting and fascinating contested battle. Where East-Point look to the likes of Bryson McDougall to spend a little more time inside in the midfield this afternoon. Opportunity for young Robinson, who burst on the scene last week and kicked 5 goals, to occupy full forward and be the dangerous and the spearhead. He was really the main man last week with 5 goals. When you look, and then you look at the other end for Sebastopol, well, inside forward 50, there's no secrets where they're going to line up. Paps and Hutt, 50-plus goals combined this season. You'll get likes of Kirby, will try to get some time down there and be another aerial option. Jay Dalhouse, 12 goals in 4 games for the Borough in season 2023. He'll prominent in the goals. And then the battles of the small forwards either end. You've got Adam Forbes for Sebas in terrific form this season. He's been arguably the best small forward in the competition. And then you have Liam Canny, another guy who got an opportunity to break into the midfield in the absence of Johnston this afternoon and be a real threat. Had a career-high 41 disposals 2 weeks ago against Lake Wendouree. One to keep an eye on maybe might be the form of Harry Gangley. He's been running red hot for East-Point in season 2023, averaging 29.5 disposals the last 3 weeks. Wouldn't be surprised if Sebas looked to their veteran, Jake Wilkinson, who spent a lot of time in side forward 50 in season 2023 and does a bit of a defensive forward job and tries to nullify the influence of Harry Gangley's last 3 weeks have been superb. 28 disposals last week as well in the victory over North Ballarat. Borough got a couple out as I've alluded to, but going hot favourites, have not lost to East-Point since the 2019 grand final. It's been all Sebastopol ever since they had their hearts broken by the Kangas. But I want to take you back a few years prior to that. You go all the way back to 2016. It's when this rivalry began. It was round 18 in the McDonald's Ballarat Football League. East Point were in 6th. Sebastopol won the Salad Dwellers in the competition. The Borough, out of nowhere, upset East Point, cost them a finals top 6. And that was just sort of the start of what this become one of the great rivalries in this competition between two of the powerhouses here in the Ballarat region with East Point and Sebastopol. The Borough finished in 3rd on percentage. Only Darley and Melton could outdo them in season 2023. Where East Point, well, they're good, they're bad and ugly. We've seen it all in season 2023. We know their best footy is good enough, led by their captain, Matty Johnson, in midfield. We know defensively it's questionable at times. A lot of ownership going to have to go on the back 6 this afternoon to look at the experience of Cam Lovick, the experience of Mitch Walsh to really steady the ship down there and not allow those cheap goals at the back that were highlighted last week, particularly with Jamie Quick kicking 4 goals on that defence. Liam Howell returned. He would be good for the hit out. Showed glimpses of what his best footy has to provide in season 2023 in that one. He'll have an important role this afternoon. Probably the most likely matchup for either Toby Hutt or James Keeble inside forward 50. For the Barretts, all season 2023 has been all about adding pace onto the footy. The evolution, I guess, the development of Bailey Medwell into an A-grade midfielder has been one to watch, averaging 27 disposals a game in season 2023. Gives them an extra level of class for the inside work of Cassidy and Veal to go to work with. The recruitment, Liam Latch, has given him a new dimension as well, hitting the scoreboard almost a goal a game, but more importantly, gets those high 20 disposal marks as well and really influences around the contest in a role that maybe he wasn't accustomed to before joining the football club. Players are going through their final warm-ups here. We'll take a quick break. We're back to call the action live this afternoon. Second elimination final live here from the Eastern Oval. Sebastopol taking on East Point. Welcome back to the picture-perfect Eastern Oval. We're down at the coin toss. It looks like Matty Johnston has won the toss and elected to kick to the left of screen to start proceedings this afternoon. He's a welcome inclusion back to East Point, of course, one of the premier midfielders in the Ballarat Football Netball League, averaging 28.5 disposals a game. Had about a concussion miss last week, was a late withdrawal. The big news, if you're just joining us, his brother, Geordie Johnston, is out, had surgery on his thumb last night. We'll miss the finals campaign. We'll miss this afternoon. And for the Borough, of course, 2 changes. No Luke Keel and no Ben Hutt. Bailey Veal and Dan Widgery. Dan Widgery make their way back into the lineup this afternoon for the second elimination final. All live this afternoon here in the McDonald's Ballarat Football Netball League here at the Eastern Oval. Sides are going to go through their final bits of routine and get action underway. For me, this game, it's all about the start this afternoon. The Borough, we know, are carrying a couple of injuries coming into this one. If East Point get the jump on them, it could be a long way to draw it back. And, well, figuratively as well for East Point, if they get off for a poor start. We've sort of seen this year they've been in a mixed bag all season. Their best footy's been very good. Their worst footy's seen them get blown off the park. So if they leave the door slightly ajar and the Borough have one of those premiership-like winning quarters that they've been able to create in recent seasons where they've blown sides away with 7, 8, 9 goals in a quarter to nothing, it could be a bridge too far this afternoon live here at the Eastern Oval. We'll keep an eye on matchups this afternoon. Looks like McDougall is starting deep forward with Robinson. I expect Riley O'Keefe and Grady Snowden the natural matchups for those men respectively. O'Keefe had a season high, 21 disposals back in round 8 when these two sides met. One game back after a short stint on the sidelines last week will be good for under his belt. Inside 50, looks like Howard's gone the keyboard, as I mentioned in the preamble. Walsh will stand beside Toby Hutt. That's been a matchup we've seen, well, for the last almost decade in this competition. Those two players standing side by side, but looks like we're going to be ready to go to kick things off here Sam Young here bringing all the action live this afternoon in the McDonald's Ballarat Football Netball League second elimination final. It's Sebastopol king to the right of screen, East Point king to the left of screen. So we're ready to go to kickstart things here at the Eastern Oval. With Kirby and Van Meel to get us underway. Players are ready, we're ready. All we're waiting for now is the umpire to put the ball in the air, which he does. The big air horn signals the start of the second elimination final live this afternoon at the Eastern Oval with Kirby winging it down. Johnston will get the first clearance. Right foot kick will go towards half forward. Diving there was O'Keefe, couldn't control it. Fast start here for East Point inside 50. Opportunity for McDougall sliding in at the full forward position. Gets up to his feet. Handball the back. Got it to Dodd. He was stripped of it. O'Keefe spun 360. Ball spills out. Johnston with the follow-up. Sockers it into the pocket of his own advantage. And the captain was unable to keep the ball in before running out of real estate. We'll get a ball in 30 metres out. Left forward pocket. Attacking end of the field for the away side. East Point this afternoon. Cassidy with the hand pass. Got his own footy back. In the end, stoppage is the only result. It'll be weird for everyone watching to say East Point is the away side of their home venue this afternoon. Been calling for about a decade in this competition. That's a new one for me. Kirby wins it down. Bouncing ball. Johnston has Dummett on him, wearing him tightly, which I thought would be the matchup this afternoon. Dummett's done jobs throughout the season on opposition's best midfielders and looks like he's got a bit of a run role this afternoon with Matt Johnston. Kirby decisively down. Jeffrey will send it inside forward 50. Left foot kicks in the pocket. Backing back mark is taken there by Max Filmer. 30 metres out. Tucked in the left forward pocket. Right footer, so a natural side for him to step around, open up the angle. They practice his kicks so much these days. And within the opening minute and a half, East Point will have a shot on goal. Filmer opens up the angle, hits it shallow. No one on the goal line for Sebastopol, actually, so lucky that ball was always near side for a minus score. One behind, East Point lead the Borough, yet to score, yet to have the ball in their attacking half, and yet to have real clean possession. Banbury just goes to the required 15 short. Enemy of the Cassidy was collected late by the outgoing coach in Jackson Merritt. Announced last week, Joe Carmody taking over the reins at East Point next season. High ball towards centre wing, towards Hutt. Couldn't complete the mark. Waiting down was Keeble. Broke the tackle. Right foot kick go towards half forward. Mark is taken there by Wilkinson. Out the back slips Forbes. That's where the kick goes to half forward. Off to Dalhouse. Trying to keep it in his grasp. Couldn't do so. And East Point survived. Gangley gives it off to a teammate there. And they work the ball out through Slater on the outside. A nice ball was a chiseling one. The mark's taken by McDougall. Good transition by East Point. Lateral kick will find Dodd. Left footer might want to try to open up the corridor here. Goes in the Johnston direction. Overcooked it. Might create a problem now with Cassidy. Broke the tackle. Sweeping ball top towards the dangerous Forbes. Stops and steadies. Drills a long one towards full forward. Looking for Lockyer over the top. Couldn't take the mark. Ball hits the turf. East Point with the numbers with Gangley at the fall of the pack. Right foot kick across the face of goal. Finds target and Dodd will go over the top, and East Point again transition nicely towards the other side. A piercing ball towards centre wings, fisted away there by O'Keefe. Bouncing up nicely was McDougall. The right foot kick down the line. Ball might just stay in the field of play here for Medwell, who's got some time to stop and prop. Over the shoulder, he goes towards Snowden. Took the tackle on and got the handball away. No umpire said illegally. Threw it away. Free kick will go the way of East Point. True centre wing outside, virtually opposite from our broadcast position, kicked into the man of the mark. Now it's taken away by Snowden. Did well with the recovery. Off there to Kirby. Right foot kick will go towards half forward. Ball hits the turf. Q at the fall of the pack will get the handball away. East Point pull the kick into the corridor. It's a dangerous one to Johnston. Clever pick up his bootlaces with the right foot kick will go towards centre wing on the outside. Bouncing ball towards Whitaker. Unable to grasp it. Sharp handballs was cut off there by Medwell. Tried to break the tackle. Did he get booked to ball? Umpire says no. Holding the ball. Fast start here on the fast deck of the Eastern Oval. Free kick will go the way of the Kangas and the way of Dodd, who's had plenty of it. Looks to swing it wide and across the field of play towards the broadcast side to Gangley. He now goes back into the corridor. Nice kick finds Canny. Start in the middle this afternoon did Liam Canny. Plays on. Short ball's a good one. Mark's taken there by the ruckman Van Meel. He'll spread it wide as East Point look to use that far side of the ground to their advantage, and the kick to half forward will find Jack Jeffries, 48 from goal. High ball will go towards the top of the goal square almost. Lawler from the side couldn't impact the contest, ball hits the turf, spills out the front. Merritt tried to get it to a teammate, big tackle by Lawler who got back up and locks things up 38 directly in front of goal for East Point. One behind leads Sebastopol yet to score in the opening 5 minutes of play here at the Eastern Oval. Kirby decisively wins it down. Jeffrey, left foot snap, right to the goal square and right the way home. Perfect start for East Point. Some bang for their buck, if you will. Jack Jeffrey kicks the opener here at the 5-minute mark with a left foot snap from 30 outs. It's been all Kangas to start here at the Eastern Oval. 1-1-7. They lead Sebastopol. Yet to score and yet to have any real clean transition of play. Despite Kirby getting his hands first on the footy, Sebastopol midfield just seems to be a little bit reactive to start the opening term. Big fist there by Van Meel this time. We'll get it forward. Medwell went without it. Well picked up by Veal. He'll swing it wide with the hand pass. Inside ball there by Dalhouse was a hot one to deal with, trying to make amends. Cassidy knocks without it. In the end, the transition's good from Medwell to send it towards Latch here on the broadcast side. Set up well for him. Has Keeble as the longest option. Pulls it in the Dalhouse direction instead. Opponent was able to mark. Dalhouse reacts. Gives it off there to Widgery. Left foot snap for the instant response. It's the wobbly kick, but straight enough. And welcome back, Dan Ridgery. He gets a goal in response to make it 1 goal straight 6. The Borough trailing East Point 1-1-7 here live in the second elimination final in McDonald's Ballarat+QF+Football League from the Eastern Oval. For the first real time, the Borough able to get the ball out the front of the contest, and that transition latched the man sent inside 50. Dalhouse showed his class, created the fall of the pack, and found Widgery snapped truly to make it 1 goal apiece here in the early stages. Veal brought to the ground, and umpire says going nowhere. A ball up the result. Opportunity for Kirby and Van Meel to go again. Medwell has been bright. Got the handball away. Conlon overran it. Latch didn't dispose of a cleanly great tackle by Johnston. And he'll be rewarded with the free kick. So the captain, Matty Johnston, with it to drive East Point into attack again. Thumps a long kick towards full forward. Looking for Robertson. Got it. We saw his emergence last week on the lead. Kicked 5 goals against North Ballarat. And again, maybe just a little bit of lack of understanding that the kick was always going his direction. They cleared the path for a clean space for Robinson to run into. The kick was perfect from Johnston. He marks directly in front. And he comes in from 35 and splits the middle. 2-1-13, East Point move to Sebastopol, 1 goal straight 6. Fast start here in the second elimination final live from the Eastern Oval. So Robinson starting as deep as forward again this afternoon. Crone, probably the surprising choice for mine on him at fullback, was beaten in the lead on this occasion. Kirby down to Cassidy as the Borough will go towards half forward. Unkind bounce for Hutt. Howard only knocked as far as Widgery. Has a vacant goal square. I think he saw that out of the corner of his eyes and wanted to blaze home his second. In the end, missed everything out on the full. And Gangley with the man to bring the ball back in the field of play. And we wait for to come back from what's a very healthy crowd behind the goals. Right of screen. Gangley this time be forced to go down the line the broadcast side. Didn't hit sweetly. Walsh couldn't hang on the mark. Picked up by Taylor. Manufactured the right foot kick towards centre wing. McDougall slipped through his grasp, so Keith unable to keep it in the end. We'll get a ball in on true centre wing on the broadcast side. East Point been looking to use the far wing as their attacking side thus far. Vermeer wins it down, gets his own footy back. Manufactured only as far as Cassidy. Gave it to his lookalike in Sanders. Right foot kick, Wilkinson on the half volley. Tried to claim the mark. Umpire wiser to that set of bounce, and we'll get a ball up. Well officiated. Umpire picked that one up very nicely. Just half volleyed into the grass of Jake Wilkinson. Taking side centre wing on the broadcast side. We'll get a ball up. Kirby again decisively down, but only as far as Taylor. His right foot kick will go towards half forward. Whitaker. Big fly, couldn't take the mark. Ball to turf. Fletcher applies the tackle. High ball will go towards half forward. Fisted away there by O'Keefe in front of McDougall. We'll get a ball in on the half forward line. About 60 out from goal. 2-1-13 East Point. The away side leads Sebastopol 1 goal straight 6. As we're midway through the opening term here in the second elimination final. Kirby wins it down. Taylor reacts first. Got to the filmer, stepped down the whoopie tackler, dumps a high ball inside 50, looking towards Robinson again. O'Keefe left his man, didn't take the mark. Now it opens the door for East Point. McDougall goes around the corner. Near side, minor score. Always the risk when you play like Riley O'Keefe, leaving your direct opponent. If you don't take the mark like that, he's always going to be loose and couldn't make him pay as Banbury goes quickly to dump it as the Borough want to go down the middle. They find Dalhouse. Plays on immediately. Right foot kick goes towards half forward to Keeble. Couldn't hang on with the mark. Gangley did enough. East Point with the numbers at the fall of the ground. Big tackle coming up to make this one there was the Sebastopol player Lockyer coming through. And the umpire says he's gone holding the ball. To our much surprise. Thought it was a hot whistle. Didn't have a lot of opportunity. Umpire saw another way. Lockyer from 50. Didn't hit it sweetly towards the goal square. Ball alive as Filmer, and he's in the end just does the sensible thing and rushes through for a minor score. Surprised Lockyer rushed that so much. It's only a beautiful thumping kick, and in the end, probably created a bit more problem trying to get that arc as he ran into some trouble. Vice-Captain Lovick will bring it back in for East Point. Looks to use the safety of the far side. Beautiful kick to the Lords, the lead on the outside. Free kick in the back should be paid. Advantage taken anyway by Jeffrey. Right ball's a good one. Mark's taken there by the late inclusion Tongue. Defensive side of centre wing has it. Goes short, just required 15. Mark's taken there by East Point. As they're virtually opposite from our broadcast position. To go inboard laterally towards Canny. He was tunnelled by his own man. Still good enough to hold on to the grab. This is where the Kangas have always looked to hit corridor bound. The Borough trying to get some cavalry in there to block that off. Canny forced to dump it down the line. But again, the mark's taken and the build-up's been good by the Kangas as Merritt takes it and goes inside 50 looking for McDougall. Got it! Knew where the drop zone was. Kick was on his head but got rid of Paps early and took the mark, and that transition is just too easy and worrying signs, I would imagine, in the home sides coaches box already for Sebastopol. As East Point just doing a bit too easy by foot, particularly on the far side of the ground. That transition has been superb. And now an opportunity for their third major of the afternoon. Dougal starts his approach. Right foot kick is on its way. Gompire doesn't move an inch. And he pops it over his head. East Point have 3. They are 3-2-20. Sebastopol on 1-1-7 here, midway through the opening term in the second elimination final, live from the Eastern Oval. McDougall joins Jeffrey and Robinson on the score sheet thus far for the Kangas, whilst for Sebastopol it's just Daniel Widgery, the only goal scorer thus far, and they really need to get going here. The Borough, it's been all East Point in this opening term thus far. Hutt wins it down. Lovick coming up the square. Hand pass over top will find Taylor. Break tackle at once but twice. Handball away just in time as the trouble arrives. High contact will be a free kick though, going the way of Medwell. Put his head over the footy. Lunch is going to go to Wilkinson down to Medwell as he shares by hands. Gives off there towards Snowden. His right foot kicks a wobbly one as they run into trouble. And now the turnover opens the door here for McDougall from 55. Lowers his eyes, hits Tamang on the lead. Costly mistake as the Borough rush and panic off half back. And Tongue takes the mark inside forward 50. And East Point to make it 4 on this term. In the hands of the late inclusion, Stephen Tongue. Kick is on its way. And he's got it. The Kangas have 4. Tongue becomes their 4th individual goal gear to start things here. 4-2-26 to 1-1-7. Only 15 minutes gone in the opening term. And the Borough would already be starting to look at the whiteboard for some inspiration. It's all East Point here in the second elimination final in the Ballarat Football Netball League. Back underway here with Hutt and Van Meel. Van Meel hands on it this time first. Cassidy extracts to Hutt, but knocked off the footy as trying to go off the deck there was Johnston. Rushed forward by Van Meel towards half forward. Jeffrey couldn't get away on this occasion from Sanders. Off the deck, kicked in danger of his own teammate. Something got to Taylor. Manufactured a kick towards McDougall. Crone will get it across to Pabst. Swings it wide. Was looking for Hill. Overcooked the kick. Turnover. Marks taken there by Wilson. And again, poor execution by foot by the Borough. Will end up in the hands of East Point. It's been a horrid start by the unofficial home side in Sebastopol here at the Eastern Oval. Wilson will start his approach. 45-degree angle, shoot right on 50. Kick is on its way. It's not a bad strike, fading late, and in the end didn't have the carry as it was fisted through for a minor score. Banbury always direct. Goes towards Lockyer. Started this afternoon forward. Then you get him around the footy a bit more, the captain. It's going to come broadcast side looking for Hill. Big fly, couldn't take the mark. And in the end, again, Young, Wilson doing well in the air to get the ball to ground, and we'll get a ball in between half forward and centre wing on the broadcast side. 20 points to margin in the McDonald's Ballarat Football Netball League here live this afternoon from the Eastern Oval. Hutt, big win. Down towards Widgery. Did he take tackler on? Umpire said no. Lovic, maybe had a case for him to back himself or a free kick holding the ball to begin with. Gets neither. And we'll get a ball up just the attacking side centre wing for the Kangas. One down by Van Meel over the top. Johnson had stolen there by Dodd. And again, the umpire says the tackle was fair and legal and a ball up is the result. Back on the way. Hutt went early. Van Meel tried to get the handball away, but it's gang tackled by a couple Boroughs. Lock things up. Sebastopol looking to get a steadier here and just finds a bit of confidence in their ball movement. A lot of turnovers have been the story of their opening corner. Lockyer off the Banbury, down the break strike. One lovely bounce to the Eastern Oval. Thumps a long kick directly down the middle, looking for Kirby. Didn't strike it well. Gangley has the safety of the boundary line, socketed towards there. And got the ball out of play. So even the good, bright moments, Lockyer finds Banbury, bursts through the middle of the ground. Couldn't finish the deal with a nice kick inside 50. It was a wobbly one and too easy for Harry Gangley to deal with as he socketed out of bounds. But at least for the Borough, ball inside their attacking 50. One down there by Kirby. East Point with the numbers as good tackles applied there by Cassidy to lock things up, about 40 out from goal. Beast to a honeypot sort of stuff there inside forward 50. Kirby doing the ruck work in there, got to his helping man in Hutt. Off to Widgery. Right foot kicks on goal again from him. This time it's offline. 1-2-8. Leads 4-3-27. As Lovic will bring it back in the field of play. Could go short to Walsh, and that's what he elects to do. East Point did this well last time and just chipped it down the line and found it all the way home to McDougall. Will they be able to do the same again? Towards Filmer. Sorry, it's Wilson who takes, they'll take the mark. Inside defensive 50. Called the play on and at the end, just bangs it off one step. Jeffrey in front. Hutt reaches high on top. Umpire said it was touched. Favoured East Point as Taylor will send the ball towards half forward. Hutt didn't hear the call. Now Tongue with it. 50 out from goal. Spins around back to his right side. The kicks towards a dangerous area. Taylor backing back. Good fist by Lockyer. Brought it to the turf. Not out of danger yet. Left foot snap around the body by Filmer. Is offline and scraped through for a minor score. 4-4-28 to 1-2-8. Burrow can't catch a break as Hutt thought he had the mark on the attacking side centre wing. Umpire said it was touched with the boot. Spilled at his hands. East Point slingshot inside 50. Unable to capitalise as Lockyer will do the kicking duties this time. Uses his full measure. Thumps a long ball in the Hutt direction. Out the back it spills. Slater should get there first. Wilkinson on his hammer. Brought him to the turf. Ball up. Now just that attacking side of centre wing. Kirby back in the ruck against Van Meel. The big fella wins it down. Dodd got the clever soccer somehow to Howard. And the slingshot handball was good by Merritt off there towards Taylor. Measuring 15-metre pass finds Jeffrey. Plays on. He's been the live wire inside forward 50. That's a wobbly kick that's towards the advantage of McDougall. Couldn't hang on. Ball still inside 50 for East Point though. Spins around. Twists left, right, and then steadies. High ball. Dodd's by himself inside 50. He spotted him and got him. Well played, Bryson McDougall. Didn't take the mark at full stretch, but weaved his way through traffic to set a high ball inside 50 towards Joey Dodd. Line up on a 45-degree angle, 30 out. So Dodd to start his approach to really give East Point the ascendancy in the contest early. Dodd comes in, hangs it to the right. Not his best strike, and a big let off for the Borough as it's 4-5-29 to 1-2-8. As we're in the time on in the opening term, the Borough praying for a breather, but still plenty of time in this opening term as Cassidy goes down the middle to Latch. Showed a bit of it, but good enough in the air where was Liam Latch to hang on. Running past will be back with Banbury. So he wobbles one down the middle. Direct is the only route for Sebastopol. Coming through there was Forbes. Read it well. Lace out pass. And then the mark's taken by Hill. Inside forward 50. Seems like all bust for the minute for Sebastopol. This time the fortuitous bounce found the creative Adam Forbes running through the middle of the Eastern Oval. His kick was perfect to the leading man, which was Jed Hill. Nothing that the fullback Slater on that occasion could do. So Jed Hill, with a big kick actually, early in the match, comes in from 35, swings it across the face for a minor score. 1-3-9 to 4-5-29. As Gangley will bring it back in for East Point. Took on the man on the mark with a bit of a dummy and went down the diddle if you will, but only picked out Riley O'Keefe. Takes the mark. Will swing it wide to the broadcast side where Lockyer was screaming for it. Sat it on his head. Dodd did well to compete and hold him up. So couldn't go fast. This is good the Borough's captain. Started forward, now going back behind the footy where he's more accustomed. Latch will swing it wide towards O'Keefe. And O'Keefe will dump it inside forward 50. Looking for one of the high flyers. And Keeble couldn't take the mark. Dalhouse waiting down. Swings around. Right foot snap. Ball still alive at the top of the goal square. East Point survive. Left foot clear and kick will find the chest of Hucker. As James Keeble got up high. Almost took the mark of the day if you would. Slipped through his grasp and East Point now go the other way. Van Meel dropped the line he should have probably taken, but gives it off to Dodd. Sweeps it over top towards the hard-running Taylor. Took on Widgery and got away. Right foot kick will go towards centre half forward. Mark almost taken there by Jeffrey. Sebast's trying to get some cavalry to arrive in Crone. The Sanders. He's held up there by Robinson. Ball up inside forward 50. Played almost 24 minutes in the opening term. 1-3-9. The Borough trail East Point 4-5-29. Cassidy. Handball was ricocheted towards Lawler to Sanders at a costly fumble. Merritt over the shoulder. Jeffries, who's been everywhere, couldn't gather. Lawler goes again. Shoved it on as far as Walsh. Ricochet towards Widgery. At the front of contest towards Dalhouse. Big crunching tackle brings him to the turf. Umpire says no prior opportunity. That's why it's the big appeal from the away fans at the home ground this afternoon. Kirby down as far as Lovick. He coughed it up in the direction there of Hucker. Hand pass just goes forward towards Jeffrey. Brought to the turf this time by Lawler. Umpire will say, give it to me, and he'll throw it in the air. 24.5 minutes played, half forward flank. East Point getting to the left of screen. Doing all the attacking pretty much this afternoon thus far. As Kirby took it out of the air this time. Right foot kick towards half forward. Crash and bash was Dalhouse, but at the front the ball ricochets to Dodd. He goes back towards Walsh and does the sensible thing and goes laterally to find Harry Gangley. He's been everywhere. His right foot kick goes back towards Dodd. Him and Tongue just looked at each other, didn't want Snowden come through and crash the back whale. Opportunity here for Samas to sling it down the other end. Ball's in the hands here of Sanders. He's a wonderful left foot kick. Blazes long towards the goal face. Needs a really good bounce. Wrong side the post. Minor score. But again, it's that kind of chaos and brash mentality of Sebas. The only thing keeping him alive, and there's a big one-on-one win from Snowden in the middle of the ground. Almost worked out fruitfully. Dropping the mark on the outside was East Point player. Now it's a problem. And we go and hold the ball. As the Borough have a chance to go inside 50 once again with Keeble. Plays on, thumps a long ball towards top of the square. Dalhouse way down. Hutt works his way to the front. Couldn't take the mark. Ball still alive at the tip of the top of the goal square. East Point desperate to hold it up. The small forwards for Samas on the move. Dalhouse and Forbes trying to get it out. In the end, East Point get it to Slater. He walks over the line and another rush behind. Lovick will come broadcast side quickly. High ball will go into the one-on-one contest towards McDougall. Too big, too strong, but couldn't hang on. Fletcher arrives to add support for the Borough. McDougall hands and knees. About a 4-on-2 if Sebastian can get it out. Fletcher, we've got boot to ball. Kick was towards Forbes, but in front, the mark's taken there by Gangley. He'll go laterally to find Johnston. Swings it across towards Merritt, and again, that far side. East Point are out if they can work this out. High thumping kick should find its target. Filmer takes the mark on his chest. Has Wilson breaking for him inside 50 if he can get on his bike and find him. He can't. Held up on the mark nicely. East Point go into the pocket. Robinson got it again. Well played by the Kangas. Wait for the right option to arrive. And again, it's Robinson who takes the mark inside forward 50. He's got a great set of hands and doesn't need any invitations when you give him that much space to lead into. Takes the mark, tucked it against the right foot. Pocket boundary line about 40 metres out. He's been a sharpshooter for this East Point senior lineup. And as I build him up, he has one of those wobbly shots on goal you see all afternoon as it just scrapes through for a minor score. Back to 19 points. Lockyer plays on immediately. Swings it wide, finds O'Keefe. As the Borough working by hand all the way towards half back. He would have found Hutt, but Simon will beat Sebastopol. As quarter time here in the second elimination final sees the home side, Sebas, 1-5-11, trail East Point 4-6-30. Goals to Robinson, McDougall, Tongue, and Jeffrey. Whilst for the Borough, the only individual goal kicker was, of course, Daniel Widgery. We'll take a short break and be back here to unwrap the first opening term proceedings. But big upset on the cards in McDonald's Ballarat Football Netball League. East Point got the Borough on the jump here at the Eastern Oval. Oval for the second elimination final live this afternoon between Sebastopol and East Point. The third place Borough in trouble to start the opening term. 1-5-11 trails 4-6-30. Talk about pre-game, we'll be at which side could get off to the perfect start this afternoon, and thus far it's been all Kangas. Goals to Tongue, Robinson, Jeffrey and McDougall. Whilst for the Borough, one goal came from Daniel Widgery, but it seems for them that it's all or nothing. They go hit the corridor at all times, and it's about, I guess, relying on brilliance at the minute. And I think you look at the team and you look at, they start Lockyer forward, and that didn't really work. You need his brilliance behind to marshal the trips behind the footy. Since he's gone back there, it's steadied the ship a little bit. Dalhouse at full forward. We want, obviously got the broken hand, so Not right at full fitness, but would love to see him around the footy if possible. Just get some injection of speed on the footy and a bit of dynamicness, as it looks like that kind of move might have been made. Dalhouse moving to the centre of the ground to start. For East Point, well, it's been the usual suspects. Joey Dodd been superb, had plenty of the footy. Harry Gangley across half-backs, just having a field day. Remarkable that no work's gone into him. I mentioned in the pre-game, his hot month of footy is continuing, averaging 29.5 disposals in the last 3 weeks. He's got his ball on own string inside defensive 50 at the minute. Medwell's been good for the Borough, but besides that, they really struggled this afternoon to counteract East Point's ability just to flick it out by hand, and excellent ball use, that has to be said. They've been so precise and damaging by foot. 10 scoring shots to 6. It's a perfect day for footy. It's going to be a high-scoring affair. Can the Borough work their way back into the contest here? We'll start the second term once again with Kirby and Van Meel here live at the Eastern Oval. Dalhouse on cue, gets the clearance. Right foot kick will go towards half forward. Bouncing ball falls inside 50. Opportunity for Wilkinson with the kind bounce. Handball up to Medwell. Steadies, dribbles, and goals. Perfect start to the Borough. Inside 30 seconds, they get the first goal of the second term. And it's their superstar Bailey Medwell finishing the deal. Dalhouse goes in the middle, gets the centre clearance. Medwell inside forward 50. Gets the right foot snap and goal. Of course, a little bit of a breeze, maybe swinging to the left of screen, but probably not a lot to decide the difference in the contest, but the perfect start for the Borough in response here. 2-5-17 to 4-6-30. 13 points the margin back underway. Big fist there by Van Meel on the second attempt, does the same thing. Whitaker held there by Snowden, umpire lets it go. Dalhouse stripped of it. Johnston, nice hand pass. East Point looking to respond as they hit the full forward position with a bouncing ball. Robinson, sharp hands off to Johnston, left it behind. Still a chance with Merritt. Off the Dodd, steadies on his left side. Hits the woodwork, minor score. A big let off again from Joey Dodd to Sebas. He's second behind as quick kick from Lockie as a beauty down the middle will find Dummett. Hasman laterally decides to tuck under the arm and now handball off to Latch. Spreads it to Medwell, steps back into traffic, goes right foot kick towards the hot spot, bouncing ball in favour of Forbes, knock-ons into the direction there of Fletcher. The youngster with the hand pass tries to get back to Adam Forbes. Does get it now, got up there to Hutt, balks at a whoopie tackler, right foot kick just overcooked to the Latch, was a lovely sidestep, missed him, and the mark's taken there by Slater. East Point looked at the slingshot towards the outer side. Wilson with it with the right foot kick will find Van Meel. The ability to work hard across the field's been a joy to watch as Jeffries continues that run and takes the mark. Looks to go down the line and back to where it started really in Van Meel. He now wants to bite it into the corridor. Dodds that option. Had to be strong. It's collected late by Hart. Umpire said legally as he spreads it across the field towards Howard, breaking for him. Liam Howard takes the mark. Doesn't go off his line, now he does. Right foot kicks a measured one, finds his target. Taken there by Hucker. Towards the leader, Whitaker. In the end, he left it for Johnston, who floated in from the side, took the grab. 65 from goal. Matt Johnston, the captain, has it. Robinson, the obvious target. He's been in hot form. Picks McDougall instead. And he's held without it. Free kick's going the way of Bryson. And once again, the way of East Point inside forward 50. Again, poor execution going forward by Sebas by foot. A turnover by Hutt inside forward 50. East Point share it across the field. They spread. And in the end, find McDougall inside forward 50 directly in front. He comes in. Kick is on goal. It holds its line. He pops through. He's second of the afternoon. And the Kangas get the response they were after Sebas kicked the opening goal and within the 30 seconds of this term. They're 5-7-37. The Borough 2-5-17. 20 points your margin, 4 minutes into the second term in the McDonald's Ballarat Football Netball League's second elimination final. Back underway here at the Eastern Oval. One down there by Van Meel. Johnston being the thick of everything. Left foot kick will go towards half forward. In the end, it's going to just dribble out of play and we'll get a ball in 50 out from goal. Controlled the territorial battle have the Kangas. And we're back underway with Van Meel and Kirby to continue their jostle. Van Meel wins this one down. It's going nowhere as Johnston forced to switch the role of tackler on this occasion to lock things up. 55 from goal. Veal, the man, couldn't get away from him. Kirby this time wins it. Borough share by hand. Lockyer on his number third side just dumps it down the line. Widgery on the half volley couldn't gather. Wilkinson bust his way through. Hot hand pass from Keeble. Got through Veal, but Latch makes it look better. His rifle kick's a dangerous one. It's turned over in the middle of the ground. Mark's taken there by Johnston. It's been poor execution of foot versus brilliant execution of foot as McDougall couldn't mark at full stretch. Dodd gang tackled by a couple at centre half forward and a ball up. Something that's been criticised in the past about East Point is maybe their use of the footy. Today, I'd love to see what numbers they're going at. They have been brilliant. Jeffrey, inside 50, couldn't gather. Merritt stole it. Right foot kick towards the top of the goal square. Paps from the side this time takes the mark. We'll swing it across in the fence and find O'Keefe. First time I've seen the Borough maybe going to a bit of slow play control. It's been go, go, go all day and it hasn't worked for him. Keeble down the line, couldn't mark. Dallas weighted down, got off to Medwell. Looked left and found Cassidy at the break tackle immediately and did well. Got the right foot kick across to Crone as the Borough start the spread. Mark should be taken by Lockyer on the outside and he'll go for a run. Tucks under the arm and takes a bounce on true centre wing. Could think about a second. Decides to go with the right foot kick to Sanders, breaking for him in half forward. He will mark. Left footer will come back inside, you would think. That's what he does with the kicker. Hutton's an absolute beauty. Nothing Mitch Welsh could do on that occasion. He takes the mark, does Hutt 45 metres down on a 45-degree angle. Cassidy broke the tackle halfbacks, sent it wide. Lockyer tucked to the arm, took a bounce and found Sanders, whose left foot kick was a beauty inboard towards Toby Hutt. Gets his first opportunity from the set shot this afternoon. As we're just going to wait for an intruder, if you will. Young fan getting on the ground. But we're ready to go once again with Hutt shooting from 45. Zartzi's approach. Kicks on its way, gets underneath it a little bit. And in the end, hung it to the near side, minus score. Lovick will go quickly as the Borough move to 2-6-18 to 5-7-37. East Point, when the ball in hand, have been so well controlled. No panic as Walsh dumps this one down the line this time. O'Keefe, this works his way to the front and fists it out of play. 7.5 minutes played in this second term. 19 points to margin. Second elimination final here at the Eastern Oval in the McDonald's Ballarat Football Netball League. Kirby and Van Meel to continue their jostle. Kirby got rid of him, and the left foot kick will go inside forward 50 for Sebas. Wilkinson fisted it forward. Only as far as Gangley, let the footy go, is gone, holding the ball. Great tackle applied by the Borough. Shot on goal coming up directly in front, about 45 metres out. Widgery was the man who got the one arm there of Gangley, who tried to get boots the ball, missed everything. Umpire on the spot said that's holding the footy. And Danny Widgery's kicked one goal, one behind and one out in the full this afternoon already. Directly in front. Needs to get one for the response of the Borough. Kick is on its way. It's away to the left. In the end, it's another blemish to Sebastopol's score sheet. 2-7-19 to 5-7-37. East Point with a slight challenge for the first time you feel this afternoon here. How they respond at the fullback position, Lovick will bring it back in the field of play. Nice pass. We'll find Slater, who's the outlet. Does so well just to play his role week in, week out, and inside that East Point back six is Geordie Slater. Thumping kicks down the line in the Whittaker direction. Big fly by Walsh. Put hands on the back. Umpire said in free kick. Banbury will take the advantage. Thumps it towards the hot spot. Out the back there was Hill. He couldn't take the mark as the sun maybe got in his eyes. And East Point with the numbers, and Howard will find Q. Got the unkind bounce though. Might open the door for Sebastopol Smalls. Forbes gives it off. Ball spills free. East Point with the numbers. Gangley over the top will find Johnston. And they'll clear D50 as he was dumped late from the bump there by Widgery. Left his mark as we downfield and in the hands of East Point. Inboard kicks got to be good. Canny sliding in. Able to hold on despite the perceived pressure of Cassidy sliding in as well. He'll chip it over the top and find Whittaker. Working high up the ground in a new role to close season 2023. From full forward to a true traditional centre-half forward. Chips it over to top, and East Point go inboard looking for Tongue. It's a nice pass, and he takes the mark at full stretch. Handball off as Johnston sends it inside, forward 50. A wobbly kick to Van Meel, off to Lovick, who left it behind. Still might be a chance. Crone gets involved for the Borough to hold things up. Lovick got him. Umpire on the spot. Circles and eventually says, I'll throw it in the air. 50 out, we'll get a ball up. Tucking in the ground for East Point. The unofficial late side this afternoon. Hutt fisted it forward. Conlon will get there first. Fletcher got him, stripped him of it, legged him, said the umpire. Free kick, East Point. Tommy Conlon from about 80 out will hit the hot spot, looking for McDougall. Big fly and a nice mark over the top there by the Burrows. By Hutt this time. High ball towards the outside's got to be good. Had to sit and wait, did Medwell, but he was up to the task and took the mark. Ball us an half-forward to find Widgery. They got the loose man inside, 15 Keeble. He had these choice between Keeble and Kirby, and in the end, he's picked neither. As in the hole, Howard read the kicker's eyes best, went towards Keeble and fisted out of play. And a real golden opportunity for the Borough to, you think, at least score from that situation. Sees the ball out of bounds and a throw in the left forward pocket, about 30 out from goal. Kirby takes out the ruck. Stolen there by East Point as they go through Canny towards half back, and Lockyer tackles. Gets Wilson to ground. Umpire letting it roll on as a big tackle applied there by O'Keefe. Pull up the result. Been better signs by Sebastopol in this term. They just can't seem to bust the damn wall, if you will. One down by Van Meel. Dalhouse tries his shake and bake. Handball away was towards the safety of the boundary line. And every time he gets the footy, the mercurial Jane Dalhouse, something seems to happen. Liam Canny watching him tightly. Of course, got the glove on, got the break in his left hand. Would be a walk-up start for Werribee if 100% fit you would feel in the VFL. But with Sebastopol today, it's going to be an important key factor for them to get back in the contest as Johnston only coughed up as far as Veal, who has smothered his boot, and Taylor will go towards centre wing. Wilson ran into Whittaker, but also was able to get out of play. And we'll get a ball in on true centre wing on the broadcast side in front of us. 2-7-19 to 5-7-37. Played almost 13 minutes in the second term of the second elimination final in the Ballarat Football Network League here, live at the Eastern Oval. Big fist there by Van Meel. Sanders got the unkind bounce. Cassidy forced to lock things up at centre half back, and a ball up. Both sides, of course, without key men. No Geordie Johnston if you joined us late for East Point. Late withdrawal with a broken thumb. And of course, Sebastopol, we know about their casualty ward. No Keel, who broke his leg last week. No Ben Hutt, missing with an ankle. The unofficial weight sign, East Point got the jump on the Borough here. As they're at inside 50, stolen out of the ruck there by Hutt. He'll get the clear and kick towards centre wing. Opportunity for Keeble. Left foot kick will go towards half forward. Sets a task for the big man in Kirby. So good at ground level is the big fella Kirby. This time just couldn't get the sit up as Walsh was on him like a glove. We'll get a ball in inside forward 50. Keeble under injury cloud. Shown moments. Some high flies and reacted at ground level on a number of occasions well. Just has finals footy in his DNA, of course. Arguably best on ground in last year's grand final loss for Sebastopol. Kicked 3 goals in what were completely different polar opposite conditions to what we're seeing this afternoon. Forbes got boots the ball just in time. Stolen by Q. Got off there to Conlon as his high thumping kick will favour Hucker on the outside. Unable to mark, gets away from Fletcher. Handballs to his own advantage more than anything. So the one-on-one jostle continues. The cavalry will arrive for both sides. Crone applies the tackle there for Sebastopol. And we'll get a ball up virtually up from our broadcast position on the far side of the Eastern Oval. 18 points the margin, 14.5 minutes played. Second term action here in the McDonald's Ballarat Football League's second elimination final. Hutt wins it down. East Point with the numbers. High ball will go inside 450 from Conlon. Sebastopol the aerial win it to the ground. Reacting first there was Canny. He was legs. And free kick will be East Point. Directly in front of goal, 25 out. All the Borough defenders went up. Knocked it to the turf. And Liam Canny, the Kangas goal sneak, will line up directly in front. 21 goals in the home and away season. In the absence of Geordie Johnston's gone inside this afternoon, stood next to Dalhouse for the majority of this term. Having a rest forward, reacting first. An opportunity to get back-to-back goals in his term for the Kangas. Comes in, liked it immediately. East Point have their sixth goal of the afternoon. 6-7-43 to 2-7-19. Alarm bells going off in the Sebastopol coach's box, one would feel, as we're midway through the second term. Game high 24-point margin here. Sebastopol kicked the opening goal of the term through Midwell, and some missed opportunities for them has allowed the door slightly ajar for East Point to counteract with a couple of goals. So we're back on the way with Kirby winging it down. Once again, Johnston gives it off, and East Point come at the front of the contest towards Taylor for 2 minutes. Hits the hot spot with a kick. It's offline and probably fortuitously doesn't go through for a minor score. We are bound to throw in a better result for East Point, have all the momentum. The unofficial away side this afternoon. We've got a ball in the left forward pocket. One down there by Kirby, nicely to Cassidy. High ball towards the outside. Howard with the spoil, knocked it only as far as Medwell. Swung it wide to Veal, stepped back into traffic. Got it to a teammate in Medwell, who dumps it towards the half-forward line. Hill gets there first, slaps it to his own advantage. Right footer will want to come back inside. Go to his lookalike in Fletcher. He goes back towards Hill. Off the deck he goes. Numbers favour East Point. So they handball our defence towards, Slater. Broke one tackle. At the back he goes. Right foot kick will come towards his centre wing. Dalhouse from the front. Couldn't take the mark. Bounced up like a cat. Canny got him. Umpire says, give it to me. I'll throw it in the air. Again, the Borough. Half forward. Had some numbers. Had some time. Weren't clean enough to generate a shot on goal. Kirby wins it down. Dalhouse. Gang tackle by Capel. Blow up the result. Jackson Merritt doing the tackling. Outgoing senior coach. What a way to mark your senior coaching career if you could win a premiership from 6. As the ball goes inside 50, Slater couldn't take the mark. Left foot kick there from Walsh is a clever one. Mark's taken there by Wilson. And it's just been methodical and control by East Point. Not that real kamikaze stuff that we've become accustomed by them. That's been more from Savas. As Dalhouse broke the tackle, kick was smothered by Dodd, and now they go in numbers forward, although Cassidy got in the way. Hand pass in the corridor is a good one, will find Latch. Can he find some clean direction inside 50? Veals out the back, should mark, and does inside forward 50. Been always a question mark about East Point's back 6. High press up the ground, allow a lot of space out the back of the contest. It's an area that side's been able to expose them in the past. Veal this time resting forwards, found that space. And you feel has to respond here. An inclusion this week. Comes in with a kick. It's a wobbly strike and it's near side for a minor score. 2-8-20 to 6-7-43. The Borough's in trouble. As East Point go through Gangley to the outside. Almost marked to Fraser, couldn't hang on. Right foot kick from Sebastian inside 50 towards Wilkinson. Somehow fell on his lap. Off to Cassidy. He goes over top to Forbes. Had a look at the goals quickly. And in doing so, allowed the opponent to bear him down with a tackle. And his kick's gone out on the full. Another missed opportunity for Sebas to the left of the screen in this turn. High kick from Merritt will clear D50. Nice mark taken there by Lockyer. Used the body well. Saw Sanders in the corridor. That kick's a beauty. We'll find him. No one on the mark, so he plays on. Sat on the head of Hill. Almost found the line of Hutt. And again, it doesn't work out for the Borough. As the handball was stolen there by Forbes as East Point were trying to exit. He goes over top to the goal square to Wilkinson. Forced to go back. Coughed it up only as far as Gangley, who clears D50 looking for McDougall. And a key from the side arrives late to fist it out of play. 2:8:20 to 6:7:43 here as we tick the time on at the Eastern Oval. Back on the way here at the half-forward region. Kirby, beaten to this time by Van Meel. Taylor, brought to ground and tackle there by Keeble. No free kick, says the umpire either way. Ball up is the result. Once again, the big fellas go at it, and Van Meel wins it down. Keeble got the unkind bounce. Follow-up tackle, and Johnston was superb too. Hard nuts crashing and bashing into each other. As we're back underway with Kirby, big fist this time. We'll see it inside 50. Forbes traps it between his legs. Allowed access for Medwell to it. Cassidy spun around 360. Ball up again as a result. Once again, we'll go again. Half-forward region down to Cassidy. Right foot kick towards top of the goal square. Unkind bounce for Hart. Fraser will share it wide, looking for Lovic. Forbes chases him. Lovic got away from the whoopie tackler on Forbes, but in the end ran out of real estate. And Mount umpire on the spot says he'll throw it in. Ball about 45 metres out from goal. We'll get a boundary throw in. Kirby takes front position. Knocked it down. Came back to him on the ricochet, and Johnson stole it. Left foot kick in the Conlon direction. Banbury forced to spoil. Lockyer's despair. Was desperate to keep it in on true centre wing. Couldn't. A good win for East Point with the clearance to gain some territory and finally clear D50. As the ball is virtually opposite from our broadcast position on the far side of the ground. 23 points your margin as we're back underway. One there by Van Meel. Taylor, right foot kick towards half forward. Tongue went without it. Stolen there by Latch. Going off there to Sanders. Tried to get boots, ball didn't. Gone. Jeffries takes advantage towards the lead there. Robinson in the pocket. He went to the ground on this occasion. Hugo Pabst in defence. Handballs it to himself to get down the line. Jeffries gets there first. Ducked the head. Umpire wise as that says I'll ball it in the air. Been forced to play in defence. The snarty Hugo Pabst. Return of Keeble has allowed that magnet flick, but been quiet and might need to get his spark inside forward 50 in the second half, you would feel. Lovic had his head ripped off. Wilkinson hit him with hard velocity. And the vice captain will be able to drill East Point to attack again. Kick the last two majors of the match. A third could be heartbreaking for the Borough as we approach half time. Almost bit one off short to Jeffries, who was coming hard at the ball carrier. He's now called the go and does want to go to Tongue, and in the end's overcooked it. Mark's taken by Veal, give it off to Cassidy as the Borough try to slingshot. By hand to Medwell. He continues it moving on there towards Lawler. He'll thump a long kick towards half forward, but there's no one home. Fraser's the loose, and he'll mark. Again, that chaos, that kamikaze style by the Borough, not working. And this methodical approach from East Point's been superb. Nice pass there by Q. We'll find Van Meel working up to half back. And he just measures one towards the hard-working Joey Dodd. Premiership player will play on and go into the corridor towards Lovic. His last kick was poor. He'll make amends as he goes inside 50, looking for Robinson. Nice hands takes the mark again. This 16-year-old kid is going to be an absolute superstar of this competition. At full stretch and at full velocity, he took the mark. Paps unable to get the spoil in, and he'll line up directly in front, right on 50. Went back to the 19s for a couple of weeks, kicked a bag of 7 against Lake Windermere in that competition. Played last week, was the game breaker with 5 goals for his second this afternoon. Gets very close to the man of the mark. Was worried about the distance as it's over the line. Yes, it is. Umpire says it's the 2-finger salute and a goal. Robson has 2. And East Point running away with it here at the Eastern Oval. Electronic scoreboard here reads 2-7-19 to 7-7-49. 30 points the margin. And Robinson makes it 3 in a row for the term for East Point. Back on the way here. Van Meel decisively down. Cassidy, look away hand pass, found Lawler, stripped of it. Wilson, over top to Merritt from 55. Hits the hot spot again, looking for Robinson. This time, Paps able to get that fist in and see it out of play. Sean Robinson, 2 goals this afternoon, 14 in the home and away season. Coming into this one. A breakout performance last week with 5 majors and a do-or-die clash against North Ballarat. Many thought East Point may have played their grand final, if you will, last week. They're saying they've got plenty more to play for in season 2023. Their performance thus far today. Veal wrapped up and another ball up. Last time these sides met in finals footy, it was the 2019 grand final. East Point got that done. They haven't beat the Borough since. Back in finals action. They're getting the job done here at the Eastern Oval as Wilkinson, a wobbly kick will find Hutt. He'll mark at half forward, has no one inside forward 50, and he's 70 from goal. Doesn't want to just dump it in there, knows it'll come straight back. Waits for some cavalry to arrive. Hutt, handball is a bad one, but it might work out to Forbes. Shakes and bakes around a whoopie tackler, kicks towards centre half forward, and the mark's cut off again. Well, good defensive structure by East Point, didn't allow easy access for the entry. Jeffrey backing back, took the mark. He'll swing it wide, and East Point will come in board to the corridor, although slipping over might open some access here for Hart. Widgery, big tackle. Ball up as a result, and when you've also not had the game on the terms you would have liked, Sebast, 2 goals, 7 to 7-7. It dignifies a very, very poor opening half. They've picked the worst day to put their worst performance together. Veal appealed for some high contact, and because the ball didn't come out, East Point had a fair case for holding the ball. Umpire said neither in the end. The ball up 48 from goal. Van Meel over the top. Right foot kick from Kenny. Lockyer should have marked, didn't. Was unopposed and now has a problem. Was held without it, said the umpire on the spot. And an escape for the captain. In the middle of the ground. Has Banbury breaking the half forward. That's where the kick goes. Has a good set of hands to Jack Banbury. And he takes the mark. Had to sit and wait, but made it look easy. The Borough need one for some confidence. As he pierces one inside. It's a beautiful kick. Finds Hart. Unopposed. And could have thrown a blanket over half the players on the ground inside the defensive 50. Somehow, with a worm burner, Jack Banbury's picked out Toby Hart directly in front, 30 out. And their spearhead, their leading goal kicker in the home and away season, Toby Hart, has to do what he always does and convert this one as we approach halftime. You feel for any chance for Sebas. Toby Hart comes in directly in front and steers it through. A little bit of confidence for the Borough as we approach halftime. 3-7-25 to 7-7-49. Here, live in the McDonald's Ballarat Football Network League in the second term at the Eastern Oval. Hutt joins Midwell and Widgery on the score sheet, whilst for the Kangas, a couple to Bryson McDougall and Robinson with singles to Canny, Jeffries, Tongue, and Oh, and Jeffries, yes, correct. We'll make it the 7th goal kick this afternoon. Back on the way here at the Eastern Overs. The time for another one to either side. Cammy in the middle, couldn't get it out. Dodd. Dummer doing the tackling. Right foot kick will go inside 50 for the East Point. Jeffries backing back. Merritt stops, gives it off to Jeffries for the instant response. Tucks of the arm, steadies from 30, and pops it through. And that'll be the final kick of the opening half. Jack Jeffries gets his second. And East Point get that instant response. And after the Borough, you thought finally might have just got something to take into the halftime break. In a blink of an eye, those hopes are shattered with a goal to Jeffrey. His second of the afternoon to make it 8-7-55 East Point. Sebastopol 3-7-25. An opening half of footy that would be utterly disappointing for Mick Colombo and Luke Keel in the coach's box. They've been beaten in all areas. As we had a correction on the scoreboard, 3-8-26. The Borough trail by 29 points at the major break. East Point, all the fundamentals of football been going right for them. Been good at the cold faces and the clearances. Their ball use has been superb. And most importantly, any half chance inside 50, like the final moments there with the goal there to Jeffrey, they've been able to take advantage and pop between the big sticks when it's mattered most. We'll take a break here at the Eastern Oval where it's the unofficial Wayside East Point in a 29-point lead in the second elimination final in the Ballarat Football Netball League here live at the Eastern Oval. Welcome back to the Eastern Oval for the second elimination final in McDonald's Ballarat Football Netball League. Halftime sees the Borough 3-8-26 to East Point, 8 goals, 7-55. And for the Kangas, Robinson, McDougall and Jeffrey have 2, whilst the individual goal kickers have been Canny and Tongue. For the Borough, Hutt, Midwell and Widgery are on the score sheet for them. 3-8 in what's been limited opportunities inside 450, not doing the Borough any favours, but their poor ball use has hurt them too. Costly turnovers have resulted in goals, whilst East Point have brought a slightly different methodical approach this afternoon than we're used to them. They've allowed Sebastopol to be the aggressor in the contest and have waited for their mistakes and capitalised with full ferocity at most occasions. 15 scoring shots to 11. We're kicking to the left of screen to start this term, which is probably slightly helped by a steelish breeze this afternoon. Third place, Sebas. If they were somehow to turn this around and be victorious, they would book themselves at least into a preliminary final. East Point, well, they only signed the competition that has to win 4 finals to win the premiership, finishing 6th on the ladder. Last week, we were in 7th for majority of the live ladder for the round 18. Took the lead in the last quarter against North Ballarat, got themselves into the 6. And now have a halftime lead of 29 points. And I think you could ask any East Point player, supporter, member, whatever you want to refer to, they would have bitten my hand off. They had said that was an opportunity. And to be doing it without their superstar, Jordan Johnston, one of the fancies this year for the Henderson Medal, of course, who just joined us, was a late out, had surgery on his thumb last night, and will miss the remainder of the the rest of the finals campaign. You would feel for East Point. For the Borough, we know about their changes. No Coach Keel, broken leg. No Hart with an ankle. Injury clouds around Toby Hutt and James Keeble going to the game. They've just looked a little bit underdone in some areas. The likes of Hill have missed parts of the season through injury. Dalhouse with a broken hand hasn't been at his dangerous and elusive best. So they're going to need a big response here, the Borough. Of course, got a big crowd. They had their 19s and reserves up at Manly Park. They would have made their way down now the highway to join us for the second half. Will they get some crowd support to get behind them and a bit of life in the contest? You feel like they kick a couple back-to-back goals, they're always a chance. East Point, though, on all occasions have denied them access to do so with a quick response in return. Epitomised with the final 60 seconds of the second term when Hutt goaled directly in front. Only about 15, 20 seconds left. East Point got the centre clearance and gold to get a 29 half-time lead. Kirby's battled hard in the ruck against Van Meel, but Johnston's been getting every clearance that he likes. Dodd's had plenty of it. Gangley's been superb across halfback. A few of the bottom six have stood up as well in the big final. Slater's had a good game. Film was shown moments. Early Wilson found plenty of footy on the far wing. So a lot of positives for outgoing coach Jackson Merritt, which doesn't look like his final game at the helm. They've already announced Joe Carmody taking over in season 2024. East Point will go with a high under Jacko, who's been in the thick of things himself inside forward 50. The number 1 for East Point, the former AFL footballer with Essendon. As the players are in position and we are in position to start the second half. It's the McDonald's Ballarat Football Netball League's second elimination final. It's the unofficial away side, East Point, leading by 29 points here at the Eastern Oval. Got the action underway here with Kirby and Van Meel. Van Meel rushes it forward, knocked back by Medwell, only as far as Johnston. His right foot kick will go towards the half forward line. Paps picked up in one motion. Right foot kick will go towards centre wing on the outside. Gangley gathers superbly, keeps it alive. Handball inside will find Canny. Could give it back to where it came from. Elected the kick. It was partially smothered. Kirby takes it away. He swings with the hand pass off as Veal will go towards half forward. Keeble allows access now for Forbes at the fall of the pack. Handball inside to Latch. Had an opponent bearing down. Just got the boot in time. Wilkinson dives in and takes the mark. And the veteran shows some heart and courage as he threw himself at that football and took the mark on his chest as Latch was almost run down in the tackle. Just got the kick away in time. It was mixed-skewed, but marked by Jake Wilkinson. Directly in front. In the opening minute, his kick is on its way. It's away to the right. Doesn't have the accuracy. And another blemish to Sebastopol. They move to 3-9-27. So 8 goals, 7.55 here at the Eastern Oval. Gangley will bring it back in the field of play. Looks to go to that far side of the ground, which they've controlled for the all afternoon. Too tall for Whittaker on this occasion. Paps gets there first. Swings it inboard towards Lawler. He got a case of the fumbles and then dropped the footy. Umpire said he was then held without it, so a lucky reprieve for Ethan Lawler and for Sebas. Defensive side centre wing. As O'Keefe Latchley wants to go wider instead towards the big fella and Kirby. So good by foot, this big man. Plays on. Thumps it inside 50. Widger is the target. East Point players spoil each other, and Howard and Walsh ball hits the turf. It's going to be locked up about 40 out from goal. A rare blemish in what's been a very organised back six. Just getting each other's way on that occasion. Howard fisting the ball away from Walsh, who was unopposed. Neutrally down. Widgery went without it. Cassidy dives in for the Borough. And he's unable to extract that footy. Ball up as the result, still inside forward 50. Right of screen, attacking in for Sebastopol on this occasion. Kirby wins it down. Dodd gets the clearance though. He'll clear D50 for Jeffrey. Good strong mark. Being the live wire all afternoon for East Point. Kicked across the goal on the siren to close the opening half. That's true centre half back. He looks to come broadcast sides. A wobbly kick. Fletcher backing back. Couldn't take it with the one hand. Clean pick up over the top will find Banbury. Looks to draw the man. In the end, able to step and prod inside the kick. Finds Medwell on his hands and knees. Got the handball off to Cassidy. Broke the tackle. Thumps a long ball towards the hot spot. Looking for Kirby. Crashed the pack. Ball hits the turf. Picked up by Veal. Tried to fling out towards Hutt. He couldn't gather. Now the ball was neutrally locked up at the full forward position, about 30 out from goal. Again, Sebas looking to go quick and fast and direct. Able to clunk one inside forward 50. Ball up in a good spot for them. Van Meel over top arrived late. Quick snap out of the contest by the Borough. There's a way to the near side and a minus score. Another blemish to them was Keeble, the man getting the clearance and shot on goal. Bend it too much. 3-10-28. 8-7-55. Lovick this time will bring it in for East Point. All the players on the far side, so that's where he's going to go. somehow found a loose man, and Slater was unable this time to mark. Raked him up in the half-time break and was unopposed close to the boundary line and dropped one he should have held on to. Ball goes out, 4 minutes played in this third term. A better start by Sebast, but no damage done on the score sheet yet. Been shell-shocked in the opening half by a rampaging East Point side. Guess we'll see how many petrol tickets they've spent to muster this lead, particularly to close out last week and now this week, as the ball was just moved. They're 5 metres from half forward towards centre wing. We'll get a ball back in with Kirby and Van Meel. Back underway. Big fella from Sebast just knocks it over the head to a dangerous spot. Allows access for Cassidy. Couldn't quite pick it up. Latch got it back to Cassidy. Now Dalhouse from 50. Spearing pass towards the top of the square, but nobody home. Loose play was Slater this time, who showed a better set of hands and took the mark and swings it across the face of defensive goal. As East Point happy to go back to this methodical approach. Q, wobbly kicks the poor one. Didn't actually get to Kirby as the ball bounced in front of him and very close to the boundary line. It's going to be locked up. In between half forward and centre wing. Burrow got loose behind the footy. East Point the same. So you got to try to pick your way through with ball in hand at the minute. As Kirby tries to take it out of the air to avoid that altogether. Quick kick from the Burrow comes inside 50 from Dalhouse. Hits the turf. Forbes. Foot candy was superb. Right foot kick will go towards the hot spot. Looking for Hart. He flies and can take the mark. East Point at ground level. Cough it up. Cassidy over the top. More in hope. Waiting down. Right foot snap. It's across the face again. Hill was the man that stole it. And he couldn't goal it. As it floated across the face of goal for a minor score of their third blemish to start this third term. Generated 3 shots on goal in the opening 6 minutes of this third quarter. 3 behinds from 3 half chances from Sebast. As we're just going to wait for this footy to come back. Is this a little opportunity missed for the third place Sebastopol from the home and away season? Staring down the barrel of a finals exit, of course. Played in the grand final the last 2 seasons in the Ballarat Football Netball League. As Lovick will be able to get us back underway. Chiseling ball does find the chest of Slater. Backing back, Veal thought he had access to it for a moment. So he'll chip it over top, and Whittaker working out, got away from his direct opponent and takes the mark. So where it's broken down this term, haven't been able to pick their way through like they did in the opening half. Ball is wide and very close to the boundary line as it trickles out of bounds. And we're going to ball in on true centre wing, virtually opposite from our broadcast position. In the McDonald's Ballarat Football Netball League, live from the Eastern Oval in the second elimination final. We'll get a boundary throw in. Kirby takes front position, knocks it down. Big tackle applied there by East Point and by Filmer to lock things up. As the ball's just moved adjacent a little bit towards centre wing. Neutral territory both sides now played almost 8 minutes. Kirby and Van Meel to continue. Big fist this time by Kirby, gained some territory. Fast footy for Dalhouse, who just slipped over at the crucial moment as the ball hit the turf. And a stoppage will be the result. Not clean, not precise. It's been a way of Sebastopol afternoon, which has cost them. And 3-11 on the score sheet also reflects their kamikaze style of football. Kirby again with the fist. Lock things up. And the stalemate here will always favour the side in front. Knocked down again, and Veal doing the tackling. Ball spills free. Opportunity for Wilson at the front of the pack. Takes one bounce, but left the ball behind. Now Banbury picks up with the one arm. And the kick down the line's a good one to find Sanders, who dropped the mark. He really should have taken a full stretch. And allows access here for East Point to come off halfback. Right foot kicks down the line. Big fist away from Merritt there from Lockyer. Merritt broke the tackle of Paps. Runs his full measure. In the end, umpire said he ran too far. to the moans and groans of the unofficial away fans here at the Eastern Oval. Their coach broke the tackle, ran a long way, umpire said too far, and a let off as Sebastopol will have it at the half-back line with Lockyer. Always looks to go direct. Big booming kick down the line. Keeble arrives late. Ball hits the turf. Tongue with the tackle. And in the end, the ball up on the far side again. Very different style compared to the opening half this third term. Stop-start. Medwell trying to get it out to Dalhouse. He coughs up in the corridor. Running away with it is Johnston as he goes inside 50. Looking for the big man Robinson. Fisted away by O'Keefe. Lawler dropped the footy. Umpire said no. McDougall knocks it away. Lawler goes again. Hand pass was almost stolen by Tongue. And out with those East Point players, they take the advantage. Dodd towards full forward, looking for that one-on-one. Robinson can take the grab, steps back into traffic. In the end, threw it away. Couldn't beat a couple opposing Sebastopol defenders coming. And the Borough survive as Crone will swing across defensive goal to Lawler. They set the switch towards the broadcast side. This kick's got to be a good one in the O'Keefe direction. Tongue backing back, read it like a book. Couldn't take the mark, but sees it how to play. Win to East Point as they can lock things up on their half-forward line. 10.5 minutes played in the third term. The second elimination final in the Ballarat Football Netball League. All signs heading towards an East Point victory as Van Meer wins it down. Cassidy tries to bulldoze his way through. Canny on him so well, brought into the turf. Another ball up inside 50. Good tackling pressure. One of those KPIs, no doubt, on the board of Jackson Merritt to lock this one up inside their forward half. Canny got boots the ball. Tongue with a little bit of space. Gets the handball away. Off to the veteran and Whittaker. Right foot kicks right to the goal line. Trying to get through was Paps, and in the end, with a double fister, did so for a minor score. 8-8, 56, 3-11, 29. Another warning shot fired by East Point. Can they land the killer blow? Lockyer from fullback will bring it back in the field of play. Plays on, runs his full measure. And it's going to bang it towards the middle. Looking for Keeble. Big fly, couldn't take the mark. Wilkinson ducked the head and come to bust his way through. East Point wanted the free kick. Umpire said no. We'll get a ball up. No goals in this third term. Dodd slung to the turf, got it away just in time. Gangley's kick was smothered by Medwell, goes off the deck towards centre forward. Howard had to stop and wait. Keeble on his hammer. Dalhouse trying to extract. Only man that really wanted to get that footy forward. And in the end, the umpire says it's locked between him and an opposition player for a ball up. Widgery down behind play. Looks like a style of cramp. It's fisted forward by Slater. Heads wide towards the safety of the boundary line. Sets up with Fraser. Slipped over. Did get boots the ball. Lawler and Hucker in a one-on-one. Left behind there by Merritt. Shoveled forward by the Kangas only as far as Kirby. Lockyer couldn't gather. Got his opponent high. Free kick coming up for East Point. Widgery still down with cramp in the middle of the Eastern Oval. The Borough playing with one down. Medico's unable to get out to him. They come towards very close to the boundary line as Whittaker crashes into the fence. Ball's gone out in the full, says the boundary umpire on the spot. And Crone will be able to send the Borough into attack from true centre wing on the broadcast side. His kick's just the required 15, says the umpire to Cassidy. He looks to thump it on the head there of Dalhouse. The little man had to sit and wait. It was crunched hard in the marking contest. Umpire said it was beautifully done in defence. An East Point slinger wide through Gangley. It was collected late as he kicked, but found its target. Dalhouse looked to the umpire, thought he must have had some front-on contact, but he said it was a perfectly legal spoil as the long ball down the line from East Point only found O'Keefe. He went laterally and found the target in Veal. Off to the running man in Banbury, spearing past into the pocket, looking for Keeble, and he's got him. Wouldn't be a player in the competition you wouldn't want to lead to more than Jack Bambury. Such a beautiful kick at that full tilt. To pull that kick across his body is no mean feat, ladies and gentlemen. That's a lot harder than he made that look. Then hit the man in the pocket in the lead, which was Keeble. Nothing to do as opposition player, his area prowess. And that kick was always going to be marked. But he has to go back and slot this one through just to give Sebas any chance. 3 blemishes in the term. Controlled the territorial damage. Kicks across the face of goal. And fails to register anything. It's not even a minus score, it's a ball in. 3:11:29 to 8:8:56. Deep inside 50 for the Borough. And able to get some ascendancy in this term on the score sheet. Vermeer wins it down. Kirby with the snap. Partially smothered towards the goal face. Slater keeps it alive and pierces one out of the fence to find the target there in Howard. Told to go far side is Liam Howard, which is what he'll do off one step. Thumps a high one. Burrows with plenty of players behind the footy. Big fly from the side there from Wilson. Crashed the pack. Hill held without it. Should be rewarded. Go inside for Kirby. Big man takes the mark. 48, maybe 49 from goal. And he's going to go point back and say he has the journey. He is of course, long booming kick. The modern prototype ruckman just gets about 20 times a game. 40 plus hit outs. Likes to hit the score sheet to give his side some momentum and bring the crowd alive. Gets very close to the man of mark, does Kirby. Kicks in right in the goal square. It's not going to make the distance. Off hands, East Point are able to keep the ball towards the boundary line. Dalhouse, right for snap around the body, is across the face of goal and doesn't register a score. It's out in the full. And another missed chance for the Borough. East Point goes short. Back into control, methodical play by Slater. Breaking through in the mark is taken there by Johnston. 16.5 minutes played in the third term. Johnston just kicks one as long and high as he can down the line. No one touches the ball, it's a turf. East Point come at the front of the contest. Opportunity for Taylor, has a vacant 50 to aim at. Kicks it as long as he can in hope. Taps and tongue in the foot race. Boundary line's a good result for East Point. And the kick was weighted well enough there by Taylor just to hit the line and get a ball in without being pinned for that, of course, insufficient attempts that we now see when the ball goes into a vacant 50 like that, particularly in the higher levels of this sport. Kirby takes it out of the ruck, thumps it out of D50. Wilkinson will be the man who arrives late, crashed it well, Veal read it well at the front. Left foot kick out to the outside towards Keeble. Couldn't hang on the mark. Howard did well, goes inside, might have coughed it up though. Forbes spearing passes in the Fletcher direction. Stepped around the Whitby tackler, did Fletcher. Left foot kick towards the hot spot, looking from Hart. Waiting down was Hill. Gets the kind bounce as Jet Hill. And finally, the Borough busts the damn wall and get the opening goal of the third term. Hill goals at the 7.5 minute mark to give them some sort of life here in the second elimination final of the McDonald's Ballarat Football League. 4:11:35 to 8:8:56. Jed Hill kicks the opening goal of the third term at the 7.5 minute mark. Got at the back, popped it through the big sticks. 15 scoring shots to 16 now. 4:11:35 to 8:8:56. And here comes the Borough. They controlled the term, finally got some reward on the score sheet. Can they get back-to-back goals? Clearance coming their way at the front for Dummett. He goes over the top looking for Forbes. Steps around the Whitby tackler. Thumps a long ball to the hot spot. Dallas has to sit. Dallas has to fly. Didn't make contact with the footy. Unrealistic attempt. And maybe should have just waited for the big man to crash. Gainley goes towards the outside. Handy fingernail in there, you would say, by Kirby. Just got it towards the boundary line. We'll get a ball in. Approaching time on the third quarter. East Point in front on the scoreboard. The Borough, though, 4 scoring shots in this term. With plenty of ones out in the full and no scores as well. Cassidy over the Fletcher. Had a couple of good minutes, the youngster. Thumping kick towards the top of the square. Hut packing back. Can't get to the footy. And it scrapes through for a minor score. 4-12-36. 8-8-56. Jacob Fletcher, still eligible for the under-19. He's had a bright couple of moments. That time couldn't find the target as it went through for a minor score. Gangley goes wide to the outside. Mounts up nicely there to Conlon as he sends it down the line. At the contest there was Merritt waiting on centre wing. He looks to continue the transition with a nice ball import. This is what East Point may do. Score from kick-ins on a couple of occasions. Taylor with it. Will look long inside 50. Canny or Jeffries. Back and back was Lawler. Got front on contact on Jack Jeffrey. As he was probably slightly worried about the live wire. Took his eyes off it, backing back. Despite making contact with the footy, he made contact with the man first. And shot on goal coming up for Jeffrey. And you're feeling what's been a low-scoring term as we just ticked over the time on in the third quarter. This could break the heart of Sebastopol fans. Jeffrey will come in. Kick is on its way. Goal pie doesn't move. He's kicked 3 very important goals this afternoon. And again, East Point responds. They move to 9-8-62. 4-12-36 here live at the Eastern Oval. Story of the day, Sebastopol work their way back into the contest and East Point get that instant response and hush any momentum that the Borough faithful have brought to the unofficial home ground this afternoon. Cassidy will get the clearance. He goes over top for Tubman, who slipped over. Opens the door for Van Meal. Look away ball. Found his target there in Wilson, who was run down from behind. In the end, the ball up is the result. It's Cassidy just slowly get back to his feet, the 2021 Henderson medalist. Missed a fair chunk of the season now is going to be asked to go off with the blood rule. Had hamstring complaints on a couple of occasions. It's extremely slow to even make his way towards the bench here and finally now just finally into a slight jog. Very worse from that contest, and they need all the troops they can get the Borough to be any chance. And what would have to be a remarkable turnaround as we approach three-quarter time. Big fist by Kirby, out of mid-air by East Point towards the broadcast side. Wilson was tackled hard there by Medwell and did well to hold it in with Dalhouse coming in to lock things up. Points to the youngster. Been in and out of the under-19s and senior side all season. Kirby just took this one out of the air. Kick was smothered. Gets a second go as he goes inside towards Latch. And the non-opposing umpire from about 100 metres away has called that as a throw, which is going to result in the ball coming back and a free kick to East Point and to Jackson Merritt. As Sebastopol streaming inside 50. Can't catch a break on that occasion, the Borough. As Merritt will thump a high one inside 50. Looking for McDougall. Taylor waiting down. Clever right foot kick. Halfway pick up by Tongue. Off to Bryce. McDougall kick was smothered. Still alive in the right foot pocket as Crone's trying to see it through. Conlon didn't find a man. Tongue caught eye contact. You would have thought. Umpire said no. And in the end, a ball up in the right foot pocket, 30 from goal. Queuing up for the killer blow. You felt there, East Point. Just couldn't quite do so. Is a bit of push and shove from Tongue, who didn't like the high contact arriving late from Crone. Kirby got rid of his opposing ruckman. Trying to clear D. 50 marks taken there by Merritt. It was just the gatekeeper waiting. And he'll have a shot outside the paint. In the home and away season, Kicked 16 goals with Jackson Merritt. Played more as a forward, but the last couple of weeks is when with their season on the line, stepped into the midfield. Right away he was recruited as the coach and as a player. Pulls this one to top the square. Lawler couldn't mark. Got it away. Paps fumbled. In the end, ricochet of his shin. Wilson hit it hard. Did well. Kept it in front for Filmer. Off to Jeffrey. Right foot kick into the pocket. Should be cuffed by Veal. Backing back. He marks. As he waits for some targets to present down the line. Veal, not a thumping kick. Will go in the direction for Slater to fly. And he didn't touch the footy. So it'll be one to Forbes. And lucky maybe with that ball going back to Slater, not Forbes first, not to be paid the 50. We sometimes see those. As Cassidy off halfback, tucks on the arm. Obviously come back after his knock with the 1-2. Hand away to Widgery. Sweeping ball, find Keeble and the Borough. Tuck it on the arm and take a chance. Keeble from 80. Thumps a long ball. Needs a really kind bounce. Doesn't get it. Although Lockyer over the shoulder, snaps and goals. Works out in the end for Sebastopol. From end to end, their big guns getting involved. Keeble with a thumping kick inside 50. And Tony Lockyer kicks his first of the day. Just to give Sebas a glimmer of hope. Electronic scoreboard reads 5:11:41 to 9:8:62. 25.5 minutes played. We're approaching three-quarter time. Only the 3 goals kicked in this term, so you'd say about a minute or 2 to go, if that. Sebas, first of all, need to stop East Point doing what they've done all day and get the instant response. But also have to pop one in between the big sticks you feel to grab some momentum into the final term. Back on the way here at the Eastern Oval. Umpires picked out a hold. Free kicks going the way of the Kangas, who paid the advantage for Joey Dodd's. Going to come back to Johnston. We'll play on immediately. It wasn't on his line. That's what Cassidy said as he thumped it long and Banbury took the mark inside the fence. So maybe a square up as his ball is towards Kirby with the one paw, if you will. Just palmed it to himself and marked. Swings it across as the Borough looked to slingshot end to end again. O'Keefe left his man. He'll go towards half forward. Dalhouse should grab it. Takes the mark, plays on immediately. Will thump it inside 50, looking for Hutt, too tall. Walsh will take the mark. And what needed to be precision-like ball movement, Dalhouse overkicked it and hit Walsh on the chest. He'll thump it out of the fence with a high ball towards the outer side. Off hands and waiting down again was Dalhouse. And his left foot kick will go inside 50 this time for Hutt. And he'll mark. Too far to score from 50. Plays on immediately. Pulls the import towards Cassidy. He's told to hold up and take the shot. Well played by Hutt to get going quickly. Didn't slow any time off the clock. Lateral ball import has fined the 2021 Henderson medalist Lachlan Cassidy. To make it 2 in a row for the first time today for Sebas as we approach three-quarter time. Cassidy will come in and kick it into the woodwork for a minor score. He liked it off the boot too, did Cassidy. As we thought the game and was changing in front of our eyes, it smashed into the woodwork and now it's 19 points to margin. Gangley plays on fullback. His piercing ball's not good. It's cut off by Latch. Is there still time? He went to go quickly, smothered. Back to Latch. Handball over top. Veal will have to backtrack towards Dummett. With the outside of the boot sends a very high footy. It's going to be nearly almost impossible to mark. Ball spills free. Whittaker, look away, handball. East Point's clear D50. It's going to come back. Banbury tucks it in the arm. Thumps it back inside 50. They need a high fly. Dalhouse went up for that. Couldn't take the mark in between a pack of 2 or 3 Kangas defenders. Will get a ball in. 18 scoring shots. Now to 17. The advantage of Sebas, but not on the scoreboard. One down by Kirby. Ball spills free. Trying to get his way through there was Widgery. Big tackle by Lovic. Ball opposite result. Directly in front of goal. 19 points to the margin. One down by Kirby again. Canny doing the tackling there will lock things up at fullback. There's a couple of precious seconds for East Point. Tick up the clock. Giving up a goal will be crucial. Dalhouse with the one paw and the snap and the bend and the goal of the day. No, it's behind. Thought it was bending back enough. The goal umpire had us going for a second. And the celebration suggested yes. Umpire on the spot said no, wrong side of the post. And a minor score. (5:14:44) to 9:8:62. What was a heart-stopping moment there. Quarter behind. Dalhouse not able to bend it back enough. East Point send it wide. It's out in the full. Is there time for Lockyer to send one more in? Sebas pressing as the three-quarter time siren looms. Lockyer will thump it towards the hot spot. Big packer plays a wonderful pack mark by Matty Johnston. That's not inspirational enough from the skipper. I don't know what it is, because with the opposing side coming as hard as they can, marks one in between 3 or 4. As the siren sounds here to signal three-quarter time. The Borough throwing their best to close that term at East Point, but unable to get the ball between the big sticks to make it 5:14:44 to East Point 9:8:62. The warning shot's been fired by Sebas. Can they seal the deal and come back from a remarkable margin at halftime to pinch victory from here? East Point have led all day and deservedly so. We'll take a final break and see how it unfolds here in the second elimination final live in the McDonald's Ballarat Football Netball League here at the Eastern Oval. Welcome back for the final time this afternoon in the second elimination final live from the Eastern Oval between Sebastopol and East Point. Three-quarter time scoreboard reads 5:14:44 to 9:8:62. The Borough with 4 consecutive behinds to close the third term, leaving the door, well, what could have left the door slightly ajar, now maybe leaving the door halfway shut with missed opportunities through Cassidy and Dalhouse particularly, resulting in blemishes, and East Point having a 18-point lead going into the final term. Jack Jeffrey leads the way for them with 3 goals inside forward 50. He's been the live wire and the spark and been the man that's answered on 2 occasions when Sebas have gone with a quick response. Bryce McDougall has been good up forward, the young 16-year-old Robinson, who has 2 as well, whilst Canny and Tongue are the other goal kickers this afternoon. The late inclusion Tongue, of course, this afternoon for Geordie Johnston, who is in a sling, broken thumb, had surgery last night. Will miss the remainder of 2023, you would feel. For Sebastopol, all 5 individual goal kickers across the board. Toby Hutt, Tony Lockyer, Jed Hill, Bailey Medwell, and Daniel Widgery on the score sheet for them. 19 scoring shots to 17 tells a different story than the 18-point margin suggests. We know the Borough have the firepower. We know the likes of Cassidy, Lockyer, Keeble, Dalhouse. It's a star-started lineup. Kirby, he's been one of the best for the Borough today again. Can they get their mojo going and flick that switch and flip it around on the scoreboard for the first time today? They've trailed all afternoon, rightly so. So East Point was superb in the opening half. The Borough threw a big shot, a warning shot, if you will, at East Point in that term, and they couldn't get it between the big sticks, and the Kangas hold an 18-point lead. Is it enough? In an away game for them at the Eastern Oval. We'll see how it finally finishes out here in the McDonald's Ballarat Football Netball League's second elimination final, live here at the Eastern Oval. It's the Kangas by 18. We've got the third term underway. Live once again with Kirby and Van Meel to continue their ruck duel. And the big fist of intention there from Van Meel. Lawler left behind. Dalhouse. Handball found Medwell. Right foot kick will go wide to the outside. Bounces towards the boundary line, and Wilson will run out of real estate and are able to keep it in. Harry Gangley been superb across half back. Matty Johnston as well. Been very good for East Point. Joe Dodd, very lively early, important touches. The forwards have worked well together. As Filmer will get the kick towards half forward. Lockyer just fisted forward in the Dalhouse direction. Filmer gets it back and gives it off there to Merritt, who's bearing past inside 50's a bullet. Hits the chest of McDougall. Takes the mark. Will play on. Thump a long kick towards the goal face. It's off line and misses everything out in the full. It was a real momentum moment there for East Point. They had found another chest. Could shut the door to start things. Now Paps will have it at fullback. Spent the whole afternoon in defence. Hugo's called the go. Hill leads the race. A nice mark, Jet Hill. Had to make a lot of distance to get to that foot. He ran about 60, 70 metres and at full stretch was able to hang on. Goes down the line. Wilkinson couldn't take the mark. Gangley at the back towards Lovic. Over the top will cover it off towards Cassidy though. Wilkinson breaks the tackle to Veal. Left foot kicks to nobody home. Didn't have a chance to look, and waiting back there was Sammy Q, who marks on his chest. Been the real controlling piece for East Point this afternoon. Slater. And almost a breakout performance this afternoon. He's been super, the number 5. Thumping kick towards half forward. Kirby didn't want to mark the footy. Bounced off his chest. Left it open for Merritt. Lines it up. Straightens. And kicks the goal. No. Just clipped the woodwork, says the goal umpire. Not the first time he struck us down there this afternoon, it must be said. And a minor score. I'm about to say game, set, match. A behind keeps the game alive. Lockyer will go broadcast side. Alex Hill is the loose man to find, and he marks. Jed Hill half Mac takes it. Chips it over top to Kirby in some space. The big fella will play on. Slater will chase him. Chisling ball will find Forbes. He'll go towards centre half forward. The kick's not a good one. He had Cassidy break from in space and show too much of it for Devan Meal. Crucial moments for Sebas. Poor execution by foot. As East Point go to half-back. Johnston. Oh, well, couldn't take it with the one hand, and the diving second attempt was superb as he marks. Can do no wrong as he swings it wide. It's a beautiful kick. And East Point control it. Ball in their hands is absolute gold at the minute. Already happy to go short with the chip pass towards centre wing. That was Filmer, just happy to spread it wide towards Dodd. And Dodd from centre wing will thump it down the line. Wilson is his intended target. Snowden in with a fist. East Point get the crumb towards the full forward position. Banbury worked his way to the front, marked on his chest. He's now caught off his line, so he has to go. Down the middle, the kick's a beauty to Dalhouse. Might open up the game. Goes looking for towards Keeble. He will mark. He'll look to swing and hit up hard inside 50. Asks Toby to come at him. Sits on his head in the end. Walsh with a big fist brought to the ground. Forbes trying to get some assistance. Can't get it. Hutt and Fletcher. Well, they could have raffled it between it. Fletcher stole it and then coughed it up towards Walsh, who had an absolute mare of a moment. He just panicked. Didn't get rid of it legally, said the umpire. Free kick, and Bailey Veal will get the shot on goal. At all the time in the world to Mitch Walsh, and just had a bit of a brain fade and forgot to have the footy. Gave it off to Cassidy. The Veal lines up the goal, and it's away to the near side. Another behind to Lachlan Cassidy, and a 15th of the afternoon to Sebastopol. They just can't get it between those two big sticks. Gangley will go long to the outer side. Lawler unopposed will intercept though. He marks. Goes inside 50 looking towards Cassidy. Couldn't hang on. Ball spills free for Dodd. He didn't gather on this occasion. Dalhouse on his hammer. Now gets to this J. Dalhouse. At the back to Banbury. Had to sit and wait. Wobbly right foot kick will wobble inside 50 towards Hutt. Spun away from Walsh. Steadies this Toby Hutt. Lines up the goals. And pops it through for Sebas. For the first time today, they get 2 in a row. And it's a 12-point margin here at the Eastern Oval. Game on in the second elimination final here in the McDonald's Ballarat Football League. Hutt becomes the Borough's first ball goal kick of the afternoon. And it's a 12-point ball game, 6-15-51 to 9-9-63. The momentum on the side of the unofficial home side, Sebas. Van Meer wins it down to the captain and Johnston. He goes inside 50. Lockyer and half volley couldn't gather. O'Keefe collected high by his teammate. Whitaker coughed it up. Only found Tony Lockyer, who streams off half-back with a bounce. Sweeping ball will find Dummett in the middle of the ground. Here's a man wider afield which wants to share it with. That ball does get to Liam Latch. He gets the footy, goes long, goes direct, goes towards Hart. Couldn't take the mark. Gets away from the whoopie tackler. Handball off to Widgery, who was falling as he gathered. Right foot kick around the body's bending back, but not enough. And a minor score. Again, Hart just slipping out of the way of the grasp of Mitch Walsh. Shaked his tackle, found a teammate. The Borough, unable though to get a goal through. Widgery trying to bend it back. 6-16. 52-9, 9-63. Scoreboard tells a very different story to what this game has been all afternoon. But Sebas are firing their best shot to keep their season alive. Gangley goes with a long kick down the middle. Found the target. How brave the East Point as they go laterally inboard. Found Canny, who continues to spread it wide. Merritt will play on. Took on the whippy tackler and go long inside 50. Towards the hot spot. Taylor getting back. So was Lockyer. Fisted out of play. We'll get a ball in. East Point able to go end to end as we get a ball in. About 25 metres out in the left forward pocket. 11 points to the margin. 22 scoring shots to 18. Kirby wins it down. Snap by East Point towards the goal square. Smashes into the woodwork for a minor score. There's a bit of push and shove. Robinson, the youngster, and O'Keefe. Lockyer will bring it all back in the field of play. Umpire said nothing doing from it. And then just give him to Bambury to bring it in, who's kicked into the man of the mark. Might open the door for East Point. Crone, the last line defence. Desperate to handball towards the outside. A big blemish for Sebastopol coming out of full back. And big points to East Point, to Robinson, to Tongue. As the ball's going to be locked up in defence. 12 points to the margin, coming out of full back. The kick was into the man of the mark. Umpires picked out a hold. It's going to go the way of Sebas as that carry on, if you will, continued. So Law will be able to exit. A reprieve for the Borough. Crowd's alive here this afternoon. A high thumping kick. And waiting underneath a nice mark taken there by Lockyer, who want to bite the corridor. Tried a barrel, got none of it. Forbes, though, was in front. Marks on his chest. Who's running past? Cassidy was the initial option. Ignored that. Decides to play on himself. Thumps it inside 50. Does Adam Forbes. Hutt will be arrived late. Couldn't take the mark. Nice fist there by Walsh. We'll see it towards the boundary line. Only as good as your last contest. Mitch Walsh showing that there. Had a couple rare blemishes to his afternoon to start this term, but a nice fist arriving late there to see it out of play. Kirby knocks it inside 50. Sanders got boots of ball. Big tackle by Samas to lock it inside 50. Thought for a second the umpire was going to shape that one for maybe even holding the ball, but umpire Weiser said no prior opportunity. Kirby wins it down. Van Meel fisted as far as Taylor. He'll go out wide with the kick. We're looking for McDougall at full stretch. Couldn't take the mark. O'Keefe got rid of him. Off the Crone as he'll go inside 50 with the kick. At the back it slips for Forbes. And a nice smother there by Slater in the right spot as Forbes tried the centering pass. We're about 35 metres out in the left forward pocket. 10 minutes gone in the final term. 12 points to margin. Van Meel over top. Dalhouse. Left foot kick. Umpire won't pay the mark. Widgery bust his way through. Got boots of ball. Sends it into the pocket and out of bounds. Massive crowd this afternoon. What's been a beautiful afternoon here in Ballarat at the Eastern Oval. The unofficial away side, East Point, have led all afternoon. The sixth place side from the home and away season looking to cause the upset. Kirby got down to Dummett. Widgery, sidestep, snaps, and goals! Pops it through, and all of a sudden, it's points the margin. Single figures for the first time since the early stages of the opening term. 7:16:58 to 9:10:64. Grandstand finish on your way, ladies and gentlemen, here. 11 minutes gone in the final term. It's only East Point by 6 points. It's now 3 in a row for the Borough, who are riding a high wave of momentum. East Point spent a lot of petrol tickets, of course, last week to have that inspirational win against North Ballarat. Are they out of the gas? Van Meer wins it down. Sebastopol full attack in that centre stoppage. No sweeper. They still get the clearance somewhat. Wilkins off the square. Collected him high, says the umpire. Backing back was Filmer. And the free kick will go the way of East Point as the crowd comes more alive. He'll thump it inside 50. Bounces in front of Tongue. Handball off to McDougall. Right foot snap is near side, minus score. Done some really nice little things to Stephen Tongue, the late inclusion. Kicked the goal, of course, but a couple of times on the half volley, he's been able to find a teammate streaming pass. This time, they miss as Lockyer go long towards the broadcast side. Van Meel, the big man, couldn't mark. Got away from the whoopie tackler towards full forward. Should be marked by Kirby, who almost spilt it, but hung on at the end. Had Lockyer laterally, ignores that. Wants to thump a long one across the field of play. Balls to turf. Might favour Forbes at ground level, which it does. Foot candy was superb with the side step. Right foot kick towards Widgery. Slater flew. Didn't impact the contest. Unrealistic tap, says the umpire. And he'll have a chance to send it inside 50. Lockyer getting in there to give him a target. Goes to the leader. Hutt instead and got him. Toby Hutt takes the mark inside 50. Pretty much directly in front, 40 out. Dan Widgery kicked the goal in this term, and that pass was an absolute beauty to the leading man. Toby Hutt to make it 4 in a row for the Borough and make it a 1-point ball game. Hutt comes in, kick is on its way. The crowd will do the work for me. And the silence says it's a minus score. 7:17:59 to 9:11:65. 13.5 minutes played. Final term action in McDonald's Ballarat Football Netball League second elimination final. Gangley, chiseling ball's a good one. Lovick will mark. Inside his D50. Goes to Slater. He'll spread it across the eastern oval to the outside looking for Howard. Bounces up and he go over the top looking for Walsh. Gets the kind enough bounce, but the kick was smothered. Forbes over the shoulder towards Fletcher. Spins around, thumps the kick towards the goal face. Gangley getting back, will mark on the line. Maybe the youngster had that moment again. He might just hit the top of the goal square instead. As Gangley will go short to Lovick. As East Point goes safe. They find Filmer, who can go towards Wilson. Dummett read it best, but although overcommitted, the mark was taken in the end there by Wilson. Whitaker, he up high, took the mark. Defensive side of centre wing on the broadcast side. The veteran with it. Will thump it down the line. Robinson, the natural target. Forbes got in the way. Paps picks it up, gets the handball away towards Kirby. Right foot kicking board's a good one. And here goes Sebas again. Sanders on the outside. A left footer will go towards Hart. Getting there was Slater first, and he fisted out of play. As behind the play, plenty of push and shove. Hugo Paps and Jeffrey involved, as well as Merritt. Back at the footy action, though, it's on the half-forward flank for Sebas. Wilkinson's going to have to do the ruck work. Van Meel wins it down for East Point easily. Dodd, hand pass was cut off by Dummett. Right foot kick goes towards the top of the goal square. Bouncing ball, Hutt. Kept it alive. Now Keeble. Looks left, looks right. Got the handball away just in time towards Fletcher. He'll snap it towards the top of the square to Hutt. Lovick with the fist. Ball still alive there with Howard. He got it out there to a teammate Filmer. It will clear D50 nicely. Mark's taken by Jeffrey. And East Point can take a breath. Right out to the outside. McDougall and Robinson. And he beat He beat his opponent one-on-one, did McDougall, with a couple of bounces. Runs the 50, passes off to Whitaker. Well played, McDougall. As Lockyer came in and overcommitted, Bryson McDougall stringed away with a couple of bounces. And with the biggest kick of the match, East Point would have it in no one else's hands. Their assistant coach, the veteran Brad Whitaker. He'll come in at the 16-minute mark of the final term. He's coming back, and he's got it. East Point bucked the trend to those back-to-back-to-back goals from Sebastopol and get a bit of separation on the score sheet. 10-11-71 to 7-17-59 here at the Eastern Oval. It was only minutes ago. Hutt had the chance to make it a one-point ball game. He missed. East Point through their spearhead. Brett Whitaker does not. 12 points your margin in the second elimination final live at the Eastern Oval. Van Meel, big fist. Love his way he tries and his guts out every week. Canny with the clearance will go towards half forward. Unkind bounce, Merritt, boots a ball, will send inside 50. One more killer blow maybe coming for East Point. Although Jeffries brought to the ground the tackle by Lawler. And the ball ups the result. Back on the way. Van Meel again. Merritt. Not going anywhere. Big tackle applied by Lockyer. Been a fantastic afternoon here at the Eastern Oval. Real rivalry between these two Ballarat sides in recent years. Kirby wins it down. Merritt against the boundary line. Hits the hot spot with the kick. McDougall couldn't hang on. The first bite of the cherry. At ground level, he's brought to ground in the tackle. And a ball up as the result. The Kangas have not beaten Sebastopol since the 2019 Grand Final. That was the last time they met in a final in any classification. Kirby wins it down. Medwell, gone, says the umpire. He'll say you got a handball to it. Umpire says he didn't. Canny has it about 45 metres out, up against the boundary line. Question was asked early in the term, did they spend all their petrol tickets last week in the start this game? Sebastopol coming hard. They couldn't put it between those two big sticks, the main fundamental of this game. And Liam Canny can shaft this one from the pocket. It'll be all she wrote. You'd have to feel as we approach time on in the final term. Opens up the angle. I'll let the crowd do the work for me. It's across the face and no mark taken and no score registered. A good result for East Point. As they can lock this still up inside their forward 50. Sebastopol will have to go end to end quickly to be any chance in this contest. Van Meel wins the ruck duel. Ball up at the 25-metre mark, directly in front as a result. Canny, the man, slow to get back to his feet. Taxing afternoon for all involved. Cassidy, handball out the front will favour Sebast. Lawler just hacks it forward. Hutt in front reacted first. Gives it off there to Widgery. Has nothing to head to towards forward 50. Has to wait for Hutt to stream for him. He'll take a bounce to Toby Hutt. He'll run to 60. Wobble the kick towards the top of the square. Fletcher gathers and goals. Yes, he does. The youngster keeps them in it. The Borough go end to end. And 6 points once again is the margin here in the second elimination final at the Eastern Oval as we have ticked time on in the final term. Jacob Fletcher has kicked 5 goals in 5 games coming to this one. Now makes it 6-6. Hasn't missed since making his debut due to, I guess, the Sebastopol injury crisis. And that's the biggest moment he's had of his senior football career. Gathers in the goal square and goals. Grandstand finish this afternoon at the Eastern Oval. Time on, red time, 8:17:65, 10:11:71. We're back underway. Dalhouse, back at the square, brought to ground. Did he take him on? In the back, says the umpire. Big call in the game. To the disbelief of Liam Canning and East Point. Free kick the way of the Borough. Dalhouse comes towards centre wing. Kicks in the O'Keefe direction. He will mark. Goes inboard. Sits on the head there. A little bit of Sanders, but he'll mark. Cassidy screaming for it, but he wants to go more direct. Long kick. Looking for Hart. They all went up. They all went down. Mark is paid to Slater. And East Point will exit towards the outside through Gangley. His kick is wide though. And it's out in the full. So turnover, an opportunity for Sebastopol to go inside forward 50. The Borough load up a long ball inside 50. Hutt will arrive late. Waiting down was Keeble. So was Hill. Drilled into the turf. Ball up is the result. 21 and a half minutes played. 8:17.65 to 10:11.71. You couldn't ask for a better final this afternoon in the Ballarat Football Netball League. It's had a bit of everything. Q clears D50. Wilkinson able to mark. Lawler went without it. Jeffries shoves it out. Unkind bounce for Merritt. Popped up when he didn't want it to roll on. Wilkinson tried to knock it towards, well, further afield in the end and went straight to the line. Ball in is the result. Borough sent the likes of Hugo Paps inside 50 to give him another aerial option. They're just going to try to bank on the clearance and the mark, you would feel. Their gung-ho approach in season 2023 as Kirby knocks it inside 50. Keeble got away from the whoopie tackler. Kick towards the square. Hill's got the set. Over the top, couldn't take the mark. Bounces at the back. East Point survive. Q. Now did he put the arm out? Umpire's got a big call to make and says ball up is the result. Hill had the set. You could see it from a mile away. He just couldn't hang on to the top of the goal square. Almost 23 minutes played. It's extraordinary elimination final. Veal picks it up. Dalhouse in there trying to pull it out for Sebas. Ball up again will be the result. Umpire takes a deep breath and gets us back underway. Kirby with a fist. Couldn't get past Harry Gangley. He's been arguably the Kangas' best across halfback. Was the gatekeeper and the wall there, if you will. This ball ricocheted back into the contest and another ball up. About 30 metres out in the left forward pocket. Kirby slaps it to the hot spot again. Opportunity for the Dallas to get access. Spun 360, got boots the ball. Comes alive and the clearing kick to East Points towards the boundary line. There'll be some rough calls for insufficient attempt or deliberate, if you will. Umpire said it was off hands. We'll get a ball in. Played almost 24 minutes now in this final term. 6 points, the margin. And we're back underway. Van Meer wins it down. Dalhouse throws his body at it. Umpire said he didn't infringe. And in the end, the ball up is the result. Jed Hill at the top of the goal square for Sebas. We'll come back to give him another option in the air. Van Meel and Kirby. Dalhouse got the clearance. Veal threw it away. Well played by Medwell. Got the Sanders. Left footer that hits the hot spot. Hutt from the side will fly. Couldn't take the mark. Waiting down Keeble. Over the top to Hill. And the game is level. Jed Hill pops it through. And at the 25-minute mark of the final term, scores are back to where we all started. 9:17.71 to 10:11.71. Jed Hill has been the live wire in the final term. 71 points apiece. You couldn't ask for a better finish to the elimination final than this. The Borough have clawed back from 29 points down at half-time. After you thought they've put their final shot and kicked 6 behinds with 4 consecutive to close the third term. It got to 12 points as we went to time on, and yet now scores are level. And the biggest ball up these clubs' season will come to this. Kirby versus Van Meel, 25 and a half gone, final term. Of course, we still could have extra time. We still got another 10 minutes of this great action. It all can happen from here. Vermeer wins it down. East Point look to go forward through there, through Filmer. Opportunity for Johnston. Just snaps it around the body as high as he can. Towards St. Alford. Big pack of players hit. Ball hits the turf. And all of a sudden, East Point have been defending this lead for the second half. Look to attack as we'll get a ball up a true St. Alford. We all take a breather as we get action back underway. Kirby and Van Meel. Quick kick there by East Point out towards the boundary line. Will bounce eventually out of bounds as it took a nice big off break. Ball in with the result. Survival of the fittest in the Ballarat Football Netball League coming up. Your second elimination final going right down to the wire. 26.5 minutes. Scores are level. Ball back in. One down by Kirby. Cassidy first to get there. Handball stolen by East Point. They go inside 50. Is the mark paid? Yes, it is. Merritt sliding in takes it. And any score will do. A major would be great. A point would be golden, but would put that ball back in the hands of Sebas. Scores are level. Shot on goal coming up from Merritt. The 27.5 minute mark. Kick is on its way. It's coming back. Oh, he split the middle. And the lead is with East Point once again. 11-11-77 to 9-17-71. What a finish we're anticipating here at the Eastern Oval in the second elimination final in the Ballarat Football Netball League. Live here, as I said, at the Eastern Oval, the unofficial away side. East Point take back the lead with a goal to Merritt in the dying moments of the game. The Borough threw everything to get the scores back to level. East Point won the crucial clearance and got in front. Once again, anticipating only a couple minutes to go in this contest. Big fist by Van Meel. It's all or nothing. Johnston with the clearance. Broke a couple of whooping tackles. Sends it towards the hero thus far in Merritt, who disguises that one with the knock towards the boundary line. At East Point, vitally have earned their spot back in front in the contest. Back underway at the half-forward line for the Kangas. Big fist to Merritt. Over the shoulder of Dodd. They'd love it, just another score. A goal is golden. Towards the top of the square, he's got Robinson. Nothing you can do is you just Sebastopol defence there. Went out the front of the contest. Dodd with the lace out kick. Found him. And the young 16-year-old, well, if your goals, it's over. And behind even makes it probable. Just has to score. Take your 30. And East Point will book their place in the semi-final next week. Robinson comes in. Pops it through. With about 90 seconds to go, you would say the Kangas are home from here. (12-11-83) to 9-17-71. After making the grand final for back-to-back seasons, the Borough clawed and their way back to level things in the dying embers of the game. But 2 goals to close it out here from East Point should be enough. One from Merritt from the pocket, and that one there from Robertson all but seals the deal. Kirby wins it down. Johnston gets boots the ball. Mark will seal it, which is taken. Conlon asks to slow down. Now we'll just kick up. Well, he tries a barrel. Got a fair piece of it. Snowden at the back. Couldn't gather. Jeffrey off the Merritt. Right foot snap. McDougall in the square. We'll mark. We'll go. We'll win it. And East Point will advance. A final 5 minutes of the season for Sebastopol that's really summed up their year. We've seen their good, we've seen their bag, and unfortunately for them, their year in the senior competition will come to an end. 9-17-71 to 13-11-89. 3 goals in the last couple of minutes to East Point. Without any revenge, and in their eyes, they've still got the wood over their arch rivals in the competition. Won the 2019 grand final. When it mattered in the final this afternoon, they're going to knock off Sebastopol for the first time this season. Widgery trying to bust his way through. Dalhouse, look away hand pass, ricocheted back in towards the traffic. Ball up the results. Really opens up the draw for the finals now. In tomorrow's game, 4th versus 5th. Whoever wins that one have a direct progress opportunity to go through to play Darley, who are most likely still in front of a Mountain. They were leading by 20 points at the start of the 4th term. We'll try and get you final scores from that game before I leave you this afternoon. As the kick out there from East Point was paid for insufficient attempt. Sebastopol had an opportunity from the centre wing to bring it back underway, but it's academic from here, of course. High ball will go inside 50. Big fisto top there by Whitaker getting back. Lovic, left foot kick will clear defence. And out of bounds it goes. So ball in, defence side centre wing. East Point will progress. Deserving victors, led all afternoon. Haven't given the Borough an inch. Kirby knocks it down. Hands and knees. Kick is shoveled out towards the boundary line once again by the Kangas. Merritt will happily see the line. And a boundary thrown on the half, in between half forward and centre wing. Darley being victorious over Melton. That means the winner of tomorrow's game between Redan and East Point will await them in the first semi-final. East Point will take on Melton next week. A rematch from the 2018 grand final, if you will. As the Kangas go inside 50, and it's fisted away by Wilkinson. To do it without Geordie Johnston is even more impressive. East Point riding a wave of momentum. Jackson Merritt, of course, midway through the year announced that he wasn't going to continue on season 2023. And still trying to go out with the best honour that he can imagine, a premiership. Q from outside 50, thumps the ball towards the tippity top of the goal square. Ball hits the turf. Siren is impending now. Paps couldn't get it out. And there is the siren. And East Point have shocked the Ballarat Football Netball League's world. 13-11-89 have defeated Sebastopol 9-17-71. They led from bell to bell. They were arguably the better side all day. The Borough threw it all at them in the second half. Somehow leveled the scores as we went into the dying embers of the contest. And yet they couldn't walk away with the win and progress through the finals. And after making back-to-back finals, or grand finals in the competition, Sebas, they bundle out the first week here in 2023. A wonderful afternoon for East Point, capped off by 16-year-old Robinson. He kicked 3 goals this afternoon after kicking 5 last week, bursting on the scene in front of our eyes. He won't be at this level much longer, I can tell you that now. He is a superstar in the making. 3 to Bryce McDougall, and Jack Jeffrey also was a handy foil inside forward 50. Tongue, Canny, Whitaker, and of course Merritt, the man who split the middle from the pocket to put him side back in front when all was on the line. The Borough, Hill kicked 2, Widgery kicked 2, Hutt kicked 2, Lockyer, Medwell, and Fletcher, the other goal kickers this afternoon. What a great afternoon we had, and just a taste of the start of the final series for 2023. Thank you for joining my company this afternoon here live for the second elimination final from the Eastern Oval, where it was the unofficial away side, East Point, victorious this afternoon, 13-11-89, defeating Sebas 9-17-71. Until next week, I'm Sam Young, and enjoy the rest of your afternoon here in sunny Ballarat.